On tonight's 69th episode of the Gamecasters, we talk about the games we've played recently. Natalie brings back the board game beatdown, and then we end the show with our top 5 big games and small packages. Stay tuned. Okay, you guys ready for this?
Okay.
Yeah. This episode of mine is number 69. Natalie can't decline this type of 69. After this, I may resign, as our content will decline after 69, 69, 69. One more time. This episode of mine is number 69. Yeah, your ears may go blind from all the 69 jokes. Listen while drinking wine, and your spouses may just find that you'll 69, 69, 69, but probably not. Well, hello there, gamers, and welcome to the episode we've all been dreading. Well, just close your eyes, plug your nose, and try to get through it as I take you on a head-to-toe journey through this, the 69th episode in our storied career. Natalie and I were up all night practicing, and what started as an enormous tongue twister ended in an explosion of creativity. Yes, my creativity is oftentimes explosive, and sometimes a bit viscous, but I think it was well worth the effort, as this is bound to be our 69th show to date. As I look back on all the build-up that led to this magical point in history, I'm left feeling a sense of loss and fear. Like, where do we go from here now? It's like seeking revenge on the man who killed your family, only to finally kill him back. But then what do you do with the rest of your life?
What's next?
Yeah, what's the point? It seems like it has no purpose. What do I live for if not the build-up to episode 69? I mean, yeah, my wife and kids. But, wait a minute. If I make 66 more... Episode over. Let's go to work, Natalie. So in all seriousness... what I wanted to do for this portion of episode 69 was to pay homage to the dirty, the filthy, the gross, the nasty, the disgusting. In other words, business as usual here on the show.
Yeah, the norm.
So, okay, you guys, I have a memory I wanted to share.
Oh, boy.
And I don't think I've ever told either of you about this.
No.
I might have told you, like, the night it happened. It's not about 69, but it is about... It fits.
Okay.
It fits that.
Right.
It fits that way. The genitals are still lined up.
Yeah.
So I've got a memory. You guys remember my friends Doug and Amy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. They've got 2 kids, Sarah and Sean. Okay. Well, a couple years ago, Sean got married, and I was invited to his wedding. And so I went there. And when I got there, Doug, his dad, my good buddy, came up to me and said, "Hey, Ryan, I think Sarah, his daughter, is feeling a little bit upset today, and I was hoping that maybe you could go apologize to her." And I was like, wait, what? Why would I apologize to Sarah? I just walked in the door. Like, what could I possibly have already done? Doug reminded me then, like right then, a few years earlier when I went to her wedding. And the second he said that, it like all came like rushing back. Like the memories like flooded like in my brain. And I was like, oh yeah. So here's what happened.
Oh, I think I know.
So I was in the wedding, or I was at the wedding, Sarah's wedding, and I was in a me-type mood, and on the way out, the wedding book was there for people to sign. Well, I waltzed up and signed my name, and then noticed that the book had like 50 pages in it, which is too many fucking pages.
That's too many. You don't know that many people.
Yeah, you don't need it. Right. you don't know that many
You know
people.
those people?
In my infinite wisdom, I assumed nobody would write on all of them, so I flipped to the last page and drew a gigantic penis. But then I noticed that the second to last page needed a little something. So I drew a gigantic penis. And then on the previous page, like right before that, I drew a gigantic penis.
Okay.
Until I got all the way back to where the names were.
Oh my God.
So 40
I drew like 40 pages of penises. But I also drew penises on the backside of the pages that already had signatures on them.
She used to keep that forever.
I drew little penises, large penises, cut penises, veiny penises, hairy penises, all the
penises.
all over the place. And in my head when I was doing it, I was like, they are going to love this. They're going to laugh and laugh. Oh yeah. And so I expected, because I remember as he was telling me about this, the memories flooded back to me of what I assumed was going to happen. And I assumed I was going to get a phone call the next day like, oh, Ryan,
You're
you
hilarious.
are the greatest. No, I heard nothing, cricket. So it went out of my brain after a few years. So now, here I am at their son's wedding. Apparently, it was a little bit of the opposite. Instead of thinking it was funny, she was traumatized and horrified and probably
How'd they know it was
crying
you?
about it. Well, everybody
I
who knows
wouldn't
me
know.
knows
Yeah.
it was me.
Okay.
Of course it was.
And so now I'm in the situation where I'm at their son's wedding, and I haven't talked to Sarah since her wedding, a few years ago. And now I have to go up to her and her husband
Like, sorry for the
at her
dicks.
brother's wedding and just be like, "Hey, you remember a few years ago when I drew all those penises in your book? I know this is probably bringing up
That's my bad.
flashbacks.
That's my bad.
I probably shouldn't have done that.
My bad.
I'm sorry.
So sorry.
It was one of the most awkward apologies ever. 'Cause
Are those
she
the
was
words that came out of your mouth?
legitimately pissed.
Like,
I don't honestly remember what I
sorry.
said. I remember when I
You,
went up to her
blacked out.
and they were like super gracious and like, "It's okay. Thanks for apologizing." But I don't remember like, "Yeah, hey, those penises. Yeah, sorry." I know that I thought it was funny and it wasn't. I guess.
anyway.
Well, if you think about it, if you've ever been married, like you're never going to look at that stuff. But probably right after you're, feeling sentimental
Yeah,
about
and
it,
there's
and you're
just
like, what
dick.
the
and there's just dicks everywhere.
right?
There can't be one on the next page. There can't be one on the
No.
next
You
page.
did
What
one,
about the
then
back
you
of
could like
this
rip
page?
it out
No.
at least.
Well, I also think one of the pages had names in it, and I drew a dick around the name, so the names were like
What is wrong
In
with
the
you?
inside the dick.
You don't even drink.
What is wrong with you?
Why would you do that? To somebody?
I remember thinking like this is like I'm gonna go down in history as a legend with them. That's what I
You were, just
remember.
not in the way you thought.
I remember
Yeah,
thinking, oh,
in a
they're
bad
gonna
way.
love me. Oh my god! So another question I have for you guys: what did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
Is this a joke? Is that what she said? She said,
No, what did she say?
She said, "Oh,
where's
Prince
my slipper?"
Charming.
No, she said, oh.
because she's...
Oh my god!
Oh, man.
If you guys could see
Wait, that
Natalie's
was
face,
on Reels.
yeah,
the other
I saw it
day.
on a reel. If you could see Natalie's face when the punchline showed up.
That's for a Patreon
Oh
bagger.
yeah.
The thumbnail of Natalie's face will be the Patreon baggers exclusive.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, Jeff, what's up with you?
I don't know. Do I follow that stuff up? Like, I don't have like
I
weird...
know.
You could talk about what happened.
My son
earlier.
turned 2.
Yeah,
No,
that's not a good follow-up.
talk about what just happened
Okay,
before
so-
the episode.
As
Happy
promised...
birthday, hold on. Happy birthday
Yeah,
to Jack.
Happy birthday,
Jack Madigan, which is like that is like the best kind of name for any profession. Doesn't Jack Madigan
like
just
Jack
sound
Madigan.
so freaking sweet?
Yeah, sounds like a lawyer
or a PI.
Yeah.
Jack Madigan.
Private investigator.
Yeah, private investigator.
I'm on the case.
Your service.
Jack Madigan.
He's also, that sounds like a baseball player.
yeah.
Could be a baseball.
You know, Jack Madigan,
anything.
up to the bat.
Yeah.
What's his intro music right now? Is it Caillou?
No, it's probably
He's
the
marching out to
Bluey
the plate.
intro music.
Okay.
Bluey. Yeah, the Australian cartoon Bluey.
Yeah, Bluey. Okay,
his
that's
jam.
what he's coming out to.
So, as promised in episode 68, I was going to bring mimosas. So, Natalie and I are having mimosas
Yes.
before and throughout this episode.
Drinking water. Weight loss challenge.
And I went to the classy establishment of 7-Eleven to get the champagne.
Where you got the
and-
champagne?
Yeah, well, mind your business. Now, listen, I got it and I brought it here, okay?
your business.
It doesn't matter where I went. So,
I just am surprised they sell it.
I buy a couple of these smaller things of orange juice because they don't have like a big one because it's 7-Eleven.
Yep.
And then they have champagne. So I bought some champagne and brought it down here. And Natalie and I are both like trying to like fiddle with it to even
Well, it's got that
open it.
paper
It's like paper
Yeah.
on
on the
it.
top
The
of it, and then that
foil.
like
And then the metal
cage.
thing, right? So that comes off and the paper comes off. And then we're just sitting at the table talking. And all of a sudden, a minute later, 2 minutes later,
Yeah.
the cork just shoots out of the top of this thing.
Hits the ceiling.
Hits the ceiling. It's spraying everywhere. We're like
just, like,
freaking
pouring out
out.
like a volcano.
Nobody
Nobody touched it. It just shot up and went
Scared
everywhere.
the crap
And
out
for
of
all
us.
you guys who haven't had some in a while, you know what we're talking about.
It just that thing
It was
was
just all of
ready.
a sudden just like an explosion, like poof, and then it's like where it's pouring all over the table, and we're all just staring at it.
None
like,
of us had any clue what was going on or what to do. We just watched it happen.
It was a perfect
what?
episode 69
It was.
pre-celebration.
Yep, it absolutely
yeah,
was.
there was a lot of chaos
It was a
before we
tailgate.
started recording.
Yeah. So now we have mimosas.
sort of.
Cheers. Yeah.
And they're licking them off the
We had
table.
to squeeze them out of the neoprene mat that's
Yeah.
on the table.
Which I honestly, there's been this stain on the neoprene mat because this all happened right in front of Jeff. And I honestly think that the champagne just kind of wiped it all
think
away.
it did.
'Cause it looks
Yeah.
kind of brand new.
Maybe the
I'll
cleanest
dump the rest
spot
of the
on there.
bottle
Yeah.
out.
Probably because it's bubbly. I've heard using like sparkling water on stains is like a good stain remover
Wow.
technique.
Let's dump it.
Okay.
Move your
You
laptop.
got it. So yeah, we're dumping this whole thing out. So now you guys can listening, you have a new cleaning technique for neoprene gaming mat.
Yeah, dump champagne all over it. And
champagne
then
all
if it
over
doesn't
it.
work, don't blame us. It's not our fault.
We didn't tell you to do it. You
blame
told me to do it.
Yeah.
Nobody held a gun to your head, jerks.
Sorry if your entire carpet smells like alcohol.
Yeah, but champagne's kind of a
It's like a classy smell.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like
You're like a classy
you
drunk.
didn't just dump like what's
Liquor.
a really lowbrow alcohol. I don't drink.
Rum.
Just like whiskey. You just dump whiskey.
You just dump
all over
whiskey
it.
all over it.
No.
What is Southern Comfort? What is that?
Ugh,
Whiskey.
disgusting.
Okay,
Right?
yeah, I
I
feel
think
like that's
it's
like a
whiskey.
low
Southern
brow.
Comfort is.
Isn't it whiskey? Google it.
I don't know.
So-
I
I
just
think
know
it's
that I had it one time, and I didn't even get like buzzed or drunk or anything from it, and I felt like
Whiskey.
so hungover the next day just from drinking like a little bit of it, and I was like, I'm
should have
never
poured it on the
drinking this
carpet.
again.
Yep, just pour it on the carpet.
Yeah,
Just use the
it'll
clean
all be good.
Yep.
Blah.
Got some stains.
Oh, I did something.
Let's hear it.
Devin and I took our first trip together without Jack.
Oh yeah.
Really?
So this was the first night that really, we've also been locked up for a year and a half with COVID, right? So Devin and I went to Mackinac Island, which if you're not from Michigan or anywhere, it's basically the northern part of the Lower Peninsula. There's an island between the Lower Peninsula and the Upper Peninsula. So we stayed in the city, which is like the tippy top of the Lower Peninsula, and took a boat into the island on one day, spent the day there, spent a day in the city, and
See horses shitting everywhere?
yeah,
They do.
for
Is the
sure. That's all they
city
do.
cool?
The city's cool. It's the city's more like it would be like if the island had like a unwanted stepbrother. Like it's like overflow.
Just like a
there's
regular
like
city.
yeah, but there's a lot of like tourist stuff, but it's just there's like those stores with all the same shirts in every single
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
Touristy
It doesn't have the character
souvenirs.
that the island has because the
Yeah.
island again, if you've never been there, you can't. There's no like cars on the island. You have to bike. There's no
Yeah, it's
motor
all horse
vehicle.
riding, buggy.
Bikes, yeah.
And it's very like old
tandem
kind of
bike.
I don't want to call it classy, but it's like it's got like a lot of history to it. There's like a big
Yeah.
fort on the island you can go visit. There's a lot of cool
Yep.
stuff there.
I've only been there.
It's
in-
Very picturesque.
And the
in
city
middle
has
school
your
for a
dreams.
school
yeah.
trip. Yeah.
The city has like almost leftover fudge restaurants because that's or fudge places. That's
Yeah.
like the big thing in
Yeah.
Mackinac.
Fudge.
And
if you're terrified of ferry boats, maybe that's what it's for.
yeah, you just want to stay there.
You
But
want
then
the
you know
fudge.
all those
Like
like if you ever went on like spring break and you went in, like all those like shops that had the exact same shirt over
the
and over and over again.
shells?
That's
Yeah.
kind of like the city.
That's what it is.
And then the island's like, oh, I'm now classy. I'm on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
for
got that
sure.
big like what's that big hotel that's like famous?
The Grand
Grand
Hotel.
Hotel. The Grand Hotel
Grand
is
Hotel.
is very cool. You have to pay. That thing is
You
like
can't even go into the lobby.
no. You have to. They would charge you to go in the lobby.
Yeah.
It's like $50 to walk in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And each night is like an outrageous amount of money. It's like $600 to $1,000 a night.
Really?
It's
That's
crazy.
decadence.
But they're always like full. Like I think I just want to do one night there once in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
it's
like,
I think
once.
it's one of those things that you do once.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's why it's always full, I think, because that's the place. If you're going to, like, spend all this money, especially if you're out of state, right? If you're in state, maybe it's not as... But if you're out of state and you're going to Mackinac Island, you're going to probably want to...
Yeah.
And you're staying there.
Yeah. Stay at the nicest
Yeah,
place.
but people live there, too.
Yeah. Usually they leave. A lot of times they leave during the winter.
Yeah.
But there are some people that stick it out.
Yeah,
all
I know
year, which is-
somebody...
What
one
do
of
you
my...
do on the island? It's so small.
It's small.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much. A lot of murder. What else is there to
Crime's-
do?
crime's
Yeah,
popular.
just kill...
But like, I mean, like you just work
killing-
at
killing,
like
rape
a hotel or something.
So a lot of the people,
If you
so I
live
learned
there?
some of this. So a lot of the people on the island, there's a lot of like teenage workers, college age. A lot of them come from like around the Midwest. There was people that were from like Wisconsin and Ohio that were working in some of these shops that just go there for the summer.
Okay.
So they must have some like bunk housing for these people to live in during the
Yeah.
summer, and then they leave.
When we went to Traverse City last year, we went on that big boat.
The biggest, tallest ship in
and
Michigan.
and these kids, there was like kind of like these like younger guys lived on the boat, and they basically said in the summer they work up there, and then in the winter they go down work in like
Go back in their
Caribbean or something,
Yes.
or like some
yeah,
warmer
seriously.
states.
But they
Yeah.
live on the boat.
Crazy.
Yeah.
right, and then they work on the boat.
It's kind of cool if that's your thing.
I mean,
Right.
I could see like that's
Not my
definitely an
thing,
experience
but
in your
it's
life,
interesting.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now in my like late 30s, I don't think I have any desire to do that at all. But like,
No.
if I
No,
was in
as like a 20-year-old,
if I was in like my late
21-year-old?
60s,
Yeah, if you don't
maybe.
have any
Sure,
like
yeah, yeah.
responsibilities or family.
You want
or
a shirt?
anything.
Yeah. But it was cool because
Let me
Devin and I
just
got
hoist
away
the
for the first
sail.
time. So we
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
it was nice to just like be
Did
the
it feel
two of
weird?
us.
Did it feel weird
Yeah, it
not
felt
being
weird,
around?
especially like the first
Jack
night.
Madigan.
Especially the first night, we're like, is that Jack? Is he making noise? Like,
Yeah.
oh no,
Like, oh
we're,
shit.
we're
Is he
gone.
here somehow?
Yeah.
That's creepy.
He knows. But that was nice. So that's kind of what we've done is we took a little trip away from him, had his little birthday party, and
Yeah.
now we're back here shooting champagne all everywhere.
Shooting the champagne.
That's so funny. You said you had something to talk about. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, I forgot. We also went on a trip. to the west
To our
side of
favorite rocket
Michigan,
ship.
to Grand Rapids. We took the kids to Michigan's Adventure, which is basically
It's like a theme park.
a small theme park.
Cool.
If you've ever heard of Cedar Point, it's like a mini Cedar Point, and the kids
like
had
a
a
Six Flags.
freaking blast. They loved it. And we were there till like they closed. Like they were like,
Cool.
okay, no more rides, we're closing. And the kids were like, oh.
One more ride.
I know, it was like 7:00. We've been there all
Please.
day. Yeah, it was really fun.
It was great. If you live in Michigan and you're listening to us, there's what, 3 of you? Michigan's Adventure in Muskegon is very worth it.
Cool.
And like, I mean, we have what, 5, 7, and 9-year-old, and like there was plenty of stuff for all of them to do.
Yeah, all of them.
It was really cool.
Very cool.
Anyways, the other thing I want to talk about was we've been watching this new show on HBO Max
About making coasters.
called
Is that a show?
Lovecraft Country.
Oh, is it like Cthulhu?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
So
But
it is.
Gotta be
is
somewhere.
It is, but-
intense. It's basically about, I guess.
It's on Showtime? Would you use
It's
It's on HBO Max.
HBO, okay.
Yep.
I mean, it takes place like in the 50s-ish era where there's
Yep.
a lot of like segregation and there's like, I guess Lovecrafty type things in it. There's a lot of like magic and weird
Cultists kind of
cultist
stuff.
stuff,
Kill the
monster-y
cultists.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a Shoggoth or however you
What is
pronounce
the
that.
thing you said? They always like mess with people's minds.
Yeah, it's all about insanity.
Yeah.
That's like the primary tool in Lovecraft is horror,
Yeah.
and just not, I mean, there's monsters, but it's more about
The fear.
the fear of what could
and
what
every
could be.
episode's an hour, and it feels like you just watched an entire movie.
It does.
Like that's how much
That's cool.
stuff is like packed in the episodes, and
So it's good?
Very
It's
good.
very good.
well
Okay.
done.
It got nominated for 14 Emmys,
That's probably good.
and then they canceled it.
That's probably not
But
good.
it's still
Right?
worth it to watch.
It's
I mean, we
canceled.
haven't finished it yet. We're like halfway
one
through.
season.
But even after the first episode, we're just like, whoa.
I'll probably
like,
have to.
wow.
I don't know if Devin would get into that, but I would probably watch it.
I don't really like scary stuff. I was a little bit scared from this one episode.
Did you like hold your blanket up by your face?
Yeah, she just
we
like
were watching
clutches
it
my
at like
shoulder.
lunchtime, and I was just like, and then I went to bed that night, and like Ryan was still like awake, in the basement, and I was like, I might need to get him to come up here.
Gotta watch some cartoons for bedtime.
Yeah.
You turn on SpongeBob before bed.
Right. Just come go the other way with
Yeah.
it.
Are you guys watching Loki or no?
Yeah,
Oh, we finished it.
holy.
It was
Okay, so I haven't finished it, but
we loved it.
to this point, it's so good.
I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody,
No spoilers.
but
no
I
Loki
will
spoilers.
No
say
spoilies.
this. I think more so this is the third series now, right? The first one was
Yes.
WandaVision. The second one was the Winter
Falcon and
Soldier
Winter
one,
Soldier.
and then this is Loki. This one, I think, is going to impact how the MCU goes forward.
I think it is. They've already
They've
said
talked
that.
about that. I think before even that this was going to be like their biggest one. That's kind of why they waited for it to be like the.
We loved
I think
it.
there's even season 2 of Loki might be in the works.
Wait,
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, for sure. I mean,
I
yes.
found this article
Has
that
to
was
be.
like, here's all the new like Marvel Disney Plus series that are going to be like coming out and when they're coming out.
Loki,
And I
Loki,
think,
Loku, Loki.
I think that the one right after Loki, it seemed like it was like a cartoony type one, but it was like basically like going to explain all these like multiverses.
Oh,
It's cool.
that's
Like how
cool.
it all
It's been
works
really
or
good. I've
something.
liked their
It is
their
so.
series that they put out.
I am like, I was so impressed with it. Ben and
Yeah.
Ken had told me on a previous stream I think we were on. They were like, we're watching Loki. Ben was like, I'm 2 episodes in, and it's the best one already by far.
Oh, I
Yeah.
agree with
and I was
that.
like, wow. And so it got me really juiced up
Yeah.
for it. And it's he's right.
Tom
It was
Hiddleston is so good. I like
is.
him.
He was in a recent interview and saying he's like, I'd play Loki for the rest of my life.
Did he really?
Yeah.
It's got to be the coolest character ever.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is in the show is when he's got like this long curly hair,
Oh,
and
yeah.
every time he's like gets down and he like stands back up, he like flips his
Whips
hair
his hair back. Have you
dramatically.
noticed that?
Yeah.
You'll notice
So
that. Literally,
funny.
he's never just gets up and like kind of like casually rubs his
He
hand
just,
through
like,
his hair to
whips
get it out of his
it. He gets
face.
it out of his
He
hair.
literally is like, snaps it up like he's Ariel,
Yeah.
on the rock. Just It's really funny. Okay, so we have to talk a little bit about what happened last night.
Oh my god. Okay.
Not we. I didn't.
if
or
any-
the two of you.
Yeah. I'm looking at Jeff and telling
Yeah.
this to Jeff.
Do you remember the dinner party
Wait,
episode?
no. Oh,
What?
you gave it away.
Oh man.
That's okay. I was gonna put that in as like a after we've already explained a little bit of it. 'cause
I
it
just
makes
wanted to
sense.
say
You can say it. Just say
it
it
was
now. Say it
basically
now.
like a real life version of that
The dinner party from The Office.
from The Office.
Okay, we
My
went
God,
to
you broke Michael's plasma
a
TV.
dinner party, so it didn't go that great. We went to a dinner party for Natalie's mom's birthday.
Okay.
It was at this friend of hers house
Well, apparently there was like a bunch of the friends have July birthdays, so it was a July birthday party, and they could
For,
invite
like, a bunch
anyone
of
they
them.
want. And she invited
Cute.
her daughters, me and my sister.
We were the only one
and
of
our
all these
husbands.
people who had their family was there. And so
everybody else brought friends or
so
whatever.
No, they didn't. I don't think
nobody
anyone else
brought
brought anybody.
Oh, good.
So I was kind of like, are we really supposed to be here? Kyle was
No.
because Kyle,
No.
Frankie, and Kyle were there, and Kyle was like, I don't know. I think they were probably just like,
The two
sure,
of you guys
bring
were
who you
probably
want.
like,
And then
we're
she
not
took
supposed
that
to be
like,
here.
oh yeah. So okay, so it was at this friend of hers who's like Australian, but he's also like maybe like Pakistani or something, and
I
his
think
wife
he's
is like this
Indian.
gypsy flight attendant who names wasps and makes sure you don't use 2 forks in the same night.
Wasps.
Wasps.
No, she literally.
Her
named
husband,
a
the
wasp
Australian guy,
Carol.
he's one of those guys who physically cannot speak unless his hands are touching you. Have you met anybody like this?
Yuck.
Like he's either touching like your waist or your leg or your
We're
back.
still in a pandemic, sir. Please stay away from me.
So you're
Social
like,
distance.
hey Bernie, where's the bathroom? And he's like way at the other end of the yard, and he could just easily be like, just go left and go right, and it's the first door. But instead he's like, let's make him over there, and he just walks.
He'll, like,
walks,
put his
and he
hand in your
walks.
pocket
and then he
and
like
steer you
touches
there.
your shoulder, and he's like, it's this way, my friend. Let me show you. And you're like,
Oh,
oh
okay.
God, okay, you want to take me there too?
Yeah. Ugh.
So all these people were nuts. They seemed like they were all aliens who like morphed into humans, and this was like their first day on the planet.
Oh.
Like they were like they
Like they watched
moved
some movies
differently.
about it.
They were definitely.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie
Interesting.
Men in Black?
Yep.
Do you remember the bug that goes into that
Yep.
guy's
Yeah.
body
Yep.
and he like walks
Yeah, he's
around
like,
all
I
like
want
weird-
sugar water.
That's how
Yeah.
all of these
It's like that
people,
guy.
all these people seemed like that. Like I'm like, these are not real humans. Somebody's like controlling them somehow.
Yeah.
They moved and acted weird. So anyway, none of it seemed like real life. So Frankie and Kyle were there, and Kyle said it felt like at any moment an orgy was going to break out.
There's this one guy we assumed was a swinger.
Yeah. So then at one point, Frankie texted Natalie. Like we're all just like talking to these people and pretending like everything's normal.
Yeah.
And Natalie looks at her phone, and the text says, "This feels like the dinner party episode of The Office, and we're Pam and Jim."
Yeah.
Because it was just
Just Frankie and Natalie, not the other.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also like, so we get there at like 6:30, right? And it's supposed to be like a dinner thing. What? Am I
Yep.
stealing your stuff?
Yep, that's okay. Go ahead.
It's like 9:00 now, and we're like, we still haven't eaten.
Oh,
any.
So that's kind of I think
God.
why
We ate some appetizers when we first got there. So
the
we were
Asabuco still has to
okay.
braise for a few
I'm
hours,
like,
but everything
drink-
else is done.
I'm like,
Yeah.
when we got there, I was starving, and so we ate a little bit of appetizers, and I was drinking wine, so I didn't have that much food in my stomach. So of course I'm
Oh, she
getting
was
like
wasted.
drunk. It's
She
like
was wasted.
now it's 9:00,
And-
and we haven't eaten. They haven't even
And now you're
started
having a
making
mimosa.
the dinner yet.
And I knew she was wasted, not because she was like slurring her speech or anything like that. But I could tell because she asked me if I wanted salad 5 different times in 10 seconds. She was like, hey, did you see there's salad? You should get some salad. You look hungry. Want some salad? Honey, why aren't you getting any salad? Did you see there's 2 types of salad?
No
I was
way.
like, what is wrong with you? Like, I think you're a
I
little
don't want
drunk.
any
Are you
salad.
drunk? So they lived on this golf course, the people that we were at. And whenever someone would drive by in their golf carts, the people would like yell at them, get that birdie. Your wife golfs better than you. And I was just like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And
as a golfer, you don't want people
No, don't
watching
even-
you or
don't look at me.
talking to you when you're like on the golf course.
yeah, like what
That's
are you?
annoying.
It was so, and then they would like high fives. They're like, "Oh, good one, bro," and they're like in their 60s.
Yeah.
Right. The lady who owned the place was maybe the weirdest person I've ever met.
She was a flight
She
attendant.
named this wasp that kept flying around Carol.
She's like, oh, Carol's back.
But didn't you get the idea that Carol was like, well,
Like a
like
family
she
friend.
named this,
Yeah, like
well
years
before
ago.
we got there. She talked about it like it was her dear friend. She actually told us while we were eating that we had to keep track of our forks because we wouldn't be getting another one.
Because she didn't want to do more dishes. So we had to keep our forks
Did you
from
put
our
it in your
salad.
pocket or anything?
So at one
sitting out
point,
on the
oh my god,
deck.
it was so because she was like, she must have said this to us like 6 times. Like, better not take 2 forks. You're gonna have to wash it. And so at one point, Kyle went in to get some dinner, and he already had a fork for his salad sitting on the table. And he comes back and he's eating. And he's like, and I'm like, what? And he's like, I have 2 forks. I was like, oh shit. And so she started walking out like, I got you, bro. So I grabbed this fork and I hit it like under the table on one of the cross beams
Yeah.
of the table, and I hit it there. But then, so I was like, yeah, I got you. And I felt so sweet. And then she walked behind me at one point and sat and talked to us. And I'm like, if she looks down, she's gonna see this fork.
Did she see
like,
it?
We're gonna have to run. She did not see it.
She probably would have like sucked Carol on you. She would have had to go after
taking
you.
Carol.
Go get him.
Yeah, suck Carol. There was this other guy who was talking about Kyle like 5 feet from him, just talking
There was
about
like
him.
2 tables on the deck. We're at one table, and like everyone else is.
And he
at
was
this
saying
other
stuff
table.
like, yeah, that Kyle guy, I don't really think he's a manly man.
He looks like he could golf, but he doesn't.
He doesn't
really
look like a
man.
manly man. And then someone else was like, well, he's an engineer. And he was like, oh, okay.
So
I'm
then
like, wait a minute.
Kyle heard
There's a lot
him.
of things to unpack here.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, he looks like a golfer. First of all. Okay.
Okay.
What does that mean? I don't know. He wasn't wearing golf clothes in any way. He just looked like a regular dude, just like me. Why aren't I a fucking golf guy? I don't look like I golf, but he does.
Did you look like a man?
So that was the one big thing about
you
it.
have a beard.
Kyle
and you
does
were wearing
not look like a
hat.
manly man. Why? I don't know. He's like tall. He's built. Tall and built good. You know, like he's what the? I don't know what he was talking
looks-
about.
He just
And
looks
what are they
young.
talking about? We don't have to look the same.
He's just got like
Men
a
don't have to all look the
face.
same.
Yeah, what the hell? Man, but he's like, he's not
Sexist.
manly. And so, but if you're Kyle, you're like, this guy's like 10 feet from me,
And,
and
like,
I
talking
hear
about
everything
me.
he's saying.
Yeah,
But he wasn't
like
doing it as a
judgy.
joke, like,
Yeah.
oh, I know he's right there, I'm going to talk about him. He was like, actually like, let's talk about this guy, Kyle, that we met a few minutes ago, who's sitting right over there.
Well, then Kyle gets up, hears him, and then he gets up and goes over to like get in the conversation because he's like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to talk about me, I'm going to be involved."
then on top, so if all this is enough, there was this super loud bald guy who was the one that was yelling at the golf people on their golf
Oh my
carts.
God.
And at the end of the night, I was going into the garage to put away some mustard that this lady who lived there who's weird told me that was from Norway. Yeah, Norwegian mustard.
Yeah.
Anyway,
She also told me there's Norwegian.
she also told
butter.
Natalie the butter was Norwegian, and
For
it turned out,
Of course.
So anyway, who knows where it was? But I opened the garage door to put this mustard back in the fridge that was out there, and the bald guy he was out in the edge of the garage, and I opened up the door, and him and this other lady with dark brown hair were like making out. But the second I opened the
This is
door,
like a movie.
The second I opened the door, they were like, ah, shit, and they like both went ran different directions.
Were they not? So they were
I got
swinging.
them. I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening here? We have to get
my
the
We
hell
God.
out of here.
We literally left
These people
immediately
are all
after
in their
we ate dinner,
60s.
and we
At
left at
10:30?
like 9:50.
It was insane.
That sounds
it was
like a movie.
Fucking insane. We laughed the entire
Wasn't
way
he trying to
home.
get us to eat 2 steaks too? He's like, "Would you like another steak?"
Oh, the guy
I
that
was
lived
like, "No, I'm
there,
good."
Bernie, who I walk over to get some food. He puts his arm around my waist and pulls me towards him, and he's like,
Of course he does.
He's like, you look like a very nice boy. Do you want 2 steaks? Here, take 2 steaks. And he put 2 steaks. I didn't have time. He's like, how do you like them cooked? They're already cooked. I'm like, medium rare. He's like, here you go. And so I open it. That's like
Here's well
it's like
done.
medium. Yeah, it's like medium well.
Yeah.
He comes over later. I'm eating the steak. He comes over. He's like, how's your steak looking, my friend? And I'm like, oh, it's delicious. It's really dry.
Yeah.
You know, he like, it's
not good.
Physically picks up my steak and looks at it. He's like, oh, that looks like a little bit.
picked it
Yeah, he's
up?
like, that's a little overdone. I'm like,
Oh my god!
So weird.
oh my
It was a
God.
weird night because like
That's strange.
also, I mean, there was the 4 of us, and then everyone else was like my mom's age, you know, and then
Yeah, they're like all in their like mid to late 60s.
yeah, and we're
and-
just like awkwardly like
What have we
here?
stepped into here?
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
was
that's what
very
happened to us last night.
Awkward
Sorry, guys.
and weird.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
We were laughing.
At least you have
about
the
it.
story.
Like when we
Yeah.
left, we went to like our cars that were parked on the street and just like talked for like a few minutes. Like what?
Like, what the hell just happened?
What?
What dimension
Yeah.
did we just come out of? Because I swear these people did not seem like normal human beings that you would just meet. They were
Right.
all that. Every one of them was that guy from Men in Black.
Yeah.
Sugar
water.
Don't take 2 forks. Okay, so I was talking with some people, and I told them about our upcoming episode 69. And I was feeling the excitement. And so I asked every single one of them, hey, guys, what would you even rather be doing than listening to it? Nothing, right? And so here's what they said.
Okay. Oh boy.
So the first one came from our dear friend, Miss French Toast, Sam. Sam is great.
Well, yeah. What would
She
Sam
is.
rather be doing?
She's so nice. I expected most of them to be like, nothing, of course.
Nothing, of course.
Here's what
Just
she said.
Sitting, waiting for this episode.
Yeah, right. Here's what she said. Hey, guys, love the show, but just so you know, I'd rather have dental surgery from my ex-therapist while my current coffee shop boss caresses my toes
What?
like he tells me he wants to, then listen to 1 second of your 69 nonsense.
Oh. First of all,
Ew.
Sam, there's a lot there to
Sam,
unpack.
you need to quit that job.
That's
Go through that.
there's a lot of sadness there.
One at a time.
If you'd like to just talk, just let us know.
yeah.
Sam has had some unfortunate shit happen to her.
But she would rather be doing all of those things than listening
Then
to us.
listen to
well, that's
Sam.
Damn.
Okay,
I thought we
well,
were
I mean,
Okay.
all right. So then I got one from Nestor. Again, amazing guy. I finally sent him the game.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
yeah.
He messaged me and he's like, "Hey, bro, what the fuck?"
Did he? Good.
No, I mean,
Send me this thing.
Basically,
he was just like, "Hey,
in a
you remember
nicer
that
way.
game that like 2 years ago you said you were going to send to my
Yeah.
brother? I'm going to go see him. Can you do it?" So anyway, I told him I sent him, the game has been sent. And then I'm like, hey, would you even rather be doing anything than listening to our show? And he said, Congrats, honestly, on the show. Wait, this is episode 69, right? Ugh. I'd honestly rather buy back the game of fucking life and play it 69 times straight than listen to episode 69. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Man, he hates life. We know that from previous episodes.
Yeah. He'd rather play it 69 times. Our good friends Ben and Emily from Date Night Dice also chimed in and they said, hey guys, please just don't. Okay?
Please just don't.
I know you think it's funny, but I'd rather seriously do 69 burpees, paint 69 more Marvel minis, and Emily would rather read 69 more rule books that have to endure this shit from you.
Oh, man.
Wow. No one's looking forward to this.
Yeah, they do. I
We should just move on.
Are we going to have one download? All right, here's
I was nervous for the dirtiness.
MC Dave MC.
Ooh.
Dave McCown.
All right. Come on, Dave. You're a nice guy.
I know.
Yeah.
He's not going to... Oh, geez.
He wouldn't be mean to
did.
us, right?
No, he did. He says... I'd rather 69 96-year-olds 69 times.
Okay, that's it. You gotta go back.
I'll do it again. Okay.
Read it slower.
I'd rather 69
Okay.
69 96-year-olds
Yep, okay.
69 times
Whoa. What's the math on that?
then listen to Gamecasters episode 69.
Dave.
Love you, Dave.
You're nasty.
Dave, if you're nasty. See, he wants a 69, 69, 96. So there's 69, 96-year-olds lining up to be 69.
Yep.
69 times. Is that 69 times each?
I think so.
It's got to be.
Dave's poor
That's
mouth.
what I would.
And genitals.
Boy, and there it is. Yeah,
Death by snoo snoo.
yeah. Gosh. It would just be like, there could be nothing down there after that much.
Poor mouth.
Oh, Dave's poor mouth.
Well, actually, it'll feel good to him because most of the 96-year-olds probably don't have teeth.
Yeah, but then
true.
once you get to a certain point, it just becomes.
There's a lot of
What else
wrinkles.
can you do?
What is
Sam McMeeple says, I'd rather perform Jeff's 69th circumcision,
Oh, okay.
if there's any meat left,
Yeah.
than listen to three unkinked hoses spout about playing games with themselves. Fantasy and Some Flights just said, hey guys, I know episode 69 is coming up. There's just so much I'd rather be doing. It's hard to summarize.
That's all it is.
Just pretty much anything.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, no.
Lewis, Mr. Days 1607 says, I'd rather have a hot sauce enema for 69 minutes than to have to listen to this audio
Ew.
garbage.
That sounds horrible.
For 69 minutes.
You think any of these people are actually going to do this stuff instead of listen to us?
You know what? Prove it.
Ken, Pizza That's Too Hot to Eat from the Date Night Dice podcast says, well, one time I had a colonoscopy, and I remember that very fondly compared to the idea of listening to a 69th episode of a podcast I don't really care that much about.
That sounds a little too sincere, Ken.
Snap.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I added that last part.
Oh, okay.
He did that, and I told him, I was like, "Can I add like that a podcast I don't care about?" And he's like, "You can, but that's so mean." I know he's so nice. He's so nice. Well, I told him
He
what's
redeemed
funny
himself.
about all these, I think, is like they're like these super nice people, like
Yeah.
saying these horribly,
They're like, oh,
horribly
I have to
mean
say something
things.
mean to you? Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Joe Jitsu, Deepwater Joe, Board Gaming Madigan, Jeff's oldest brother says, I'd rather get the full experience, visuals, sounds, and smells of my daughter puking all over Jeff's brand new basement than to listen to whatever drivel will be on that episode.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, Joe.
He's like, I see you and I raise you. Just
Okay.
wait.
Oh my gosh. This is a
Well,
true story,
listen
right?
here, Joe. Think that's fucking funny? So here's what happened to me yesterday while you guys were talking to 69-year-old aliens from outer space. I was nice enough to host my brother and his massive fucking family over my house. So Joe and his 13 kids and his wonderful wife Jen comes
his lacrosse
over.
team.
And his whole lacrosse team comes over to my house. We have a lovely dinner. We get pizza on me. So we get pizza.
It's not
we
the only
eat-
thing that was on you.
Yeah. Go downstairs. Joe sets up Lost Ruins of Arnak. Okay, we're going to maybe play a game later once the kids go down. We put my son to bed. Okay, Jack's down sleeping. The kids are starting to calm down. And Joe's somewhere in the middle daughter, Maisie, says, oh, my stomach hurts. I'm sick. And at that point, maybe go the fuck home. Maybe go home, Joe.
Oh my god.
Your kid's sick. Go home. No.
Bathroom.
So we decide to stick it out, huh? And then seconds later, She stands up and throws up all over my brand new basement.
Oh, man.
So they had to throw her away.
Yep.
Wait, which part? The game room
Right
part?
in front of the couch. No, like in the middle
living
part.
area.
Right in front of the couch. And then, if you're ever thrown up, it trickles all the way to the stairs. And yeah, so then Joe took the girls home, and poor Jen spent the next 3 hours at my house with our portable carpet cleaner scrubbing the carpet.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
my God.
Yeah.
It took 3
That
hours.
sounds like
It was like,
you had
somewhere
just as
between two.
fun of a
I
night
had to
as
go to the
us.
store to get more cleaner, so it was probably like two and a half.
All the cleaner's gone, too.
But listen, Joe was nice enough to text Jen and go, hey, the girls are down if you want to stay there and play a game. So at least he was nice enough to do that.
What a nice guy.
Like, I got it. I'll take her home. You stay here and clean
Yeah,
it up.
you stay here and clean it all
But
up.
as a perk, you can play a game.
You can
too.
stay there.
Yeah,
play
you
a
can,
game.
if you want. It's up to you.
So yeah, that happened.
What time was it when she threw up?
8:30 maybe.
Oh,
It was probably like
Oh, my
8:30.
gosh. So, like,
Between 8, I would say maybe around 8 o'clock. But
Yeah.
because Jen didn't leave until like 11.
oh, no.
oh my
And-
God.
Because
no.
Jen was also like she was going to clean it up.
She
Oh,
was-
God,
you
of
know,
course.
like-
Of course.
Yeah.
Jen,
She
yeah,
probably
Jen was
I
probably
could've
more
been like-
horrified
I
I could
than
have been
God, I'm
anybody.
so
like, I could have been like, just go home. We'll do it.
Yeah, she'd been like,
of
no.
course not going to do
If you
it.
had no cleaner, she'd be like, I'll lick it up, I guess.
Yeah.
Jen is, I could totally see Jen being like, no, this is, I'm mortified. I'm cleaning
Yeah.
this shit
So
up.
we'll
Brand new
probably
basement. I'm gonna make
we'll
sure.
probably get somebody down there to do like some professional cleaning. And,
Oh, no.
but
Dude,
yeah.
you might have to start over.
Yeah.
You might just, like, pull the carpet up.
So if
and start
anybody wants to
again.
throw up, just send me a message. I'll give you Joe and Jen's address, and you could just
They got
head
four,
on
they got four
over
girls who
there.
can do it at any point in time. Oh, my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, so the next one comes from Chris
Yeah, let's
Wilson.
move on.
Let's move on. It's like, what's that thing that, is it might be Dane Cook, which I know is kind of cringy, but he's like, it's like daddy just hit mommy at the dinner table and we're all trying to eat still. It's okay, sweetie, it's okay. Just keep eating your food. So Chris Wilson, CP Wilson, he says, I'd rather have back knee picked and popped all day than listen to this stupid episode of this stupid podcast.
Stupid episode of
I
the stupid
know.
podcast.
I reached out to him.
Idiots.
I'm like, if someone's gonna be nice and mean to us, it'll be Chris Wilson.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's
And he actually just did it on his own, and this is how the thing started,
this is
right? He just
exactly
said
how
it's a
it
normal
Yep,
message.
He's just a normal,
Yeah.
exactly.
he saw
Gabby
you
from the
promoting
Snobs, he's a nice one, remember?
Yes, he's a nice one.
Says, I'd rather tongue wash Chewbacca after a bad case of diarrhea than listen to episode
my
69 of
God.
your.
His diarrhea or Chewbacca's diarrhea?
It doesn't say. It doesn't
Chewbacca's.
specify.
I guess it doesn't
I
know.
should reach out.
Oh, God.
man.
Yeah, after he had
How
a
did
bad.
he think of
Either way
that?
would be bad. I guess Chewbacca having a bad case of diarrhea would be worse.
Yeah, that would be
Yes,
worse.
I
But it would still
agree.
suck licking Chewbacca if you're having diarrhea at the
Yeah,
same
just
time.
saying, oh no, why is this
Hey, just
happening?
let me wipe.
Ew, he's so hairy.
How did I get in this situation?
Mr. Measles had a lot to say.
Of course he did.
I would rather slide down a rusty razor blade into a vat of alcohol than listen to this shit show. Before he sent that one, he said, here's a classic.
Here's the class.
This is what I say about things.
Yeah. If I
said
hate
this
something,
before.
here's
He's like, I write this on my students'
You
papers
asked
all the
Mrs.
time.
Measles, yeah.
This paper you wrote.
Yeah.
Makes me want to slide down a rusty razor blade into a vat of alcohol. Then grade your shit
Yeah.
paper. I would rather play Monopoly than listen to episode 69.
Ooh.
I would rather paint Taskmaster than listen to episode 69. He was like the worst of all of
Yeah,
them.
everybody hated
I would rather teach Mrs. Measles rules to a game than listen to episode
Oh
69.
no, is that hard?
No, she hates rules. I think.
Oh.
Right? Remember when we were learning
She hates learning stuff.
Duelings of Boringvale and like we were
Doings?
Duelings.
Oh.
And I think Kevin
Like
was
on
like,
guard.
"We're gonna lose her, man. Like you gotta pick this up.
Hurry up, man.
I would rather give up my teaching summer
Ooh.
and start
Wow.
teaching now than no. Actually, fuck that. Bring on the 69.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
Like, wow, that's bad.
Okay, we're gonna bring it back to kindness. Our loyal listener Dan, a fat guy eating burritos,
Yes.
He was
chimed
kind?
in. Very kind. I would rather pour a jar full of bullet ants down my boxers and drown out the episode with my screams.
So he's listening to it, but he's screaming over top.
so he's at least gonna
He's
listen
nice
to it.
enough to give us the download.
good.
Right.
But
That is the nicest
Super
one
nice
so
guy.
far.
yeah, that's the nicest one.
Oh my gosh, Kelly from Geek Sheet Gamer. Oh
Hey,
man,
Kelly.
she's so nice.
She's great.
I'd rather get hotboxed by my husband and 3-year-old while being chewed on by my baby than listen to that 69th episode
What
of
is
yours.
hotboxed?
Like farted.
Oh,
They're
Right?
like a Dutch oven.
Yeah.
Dutch oven, yeah.
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 That's what I
Like
kinda thought.
they fart on her.
Yeah.
And she can't go anywhere.
And chewed on.
This is still better than Gamecasters.
Maybe her baby doesn't have teeth, so maybe that's not so bad.
She was gummed. She didn't say gummed.
Yeah.
Bailey from Spooky Gems says, I'd rather throw myself.
Oh, come on, Bailey. You're so nice,
That's
too.
kind of funny. It's funny because, all right, here's why this one's funny. This one's funny because it's not like over the top like Cards Against Humanity, is shocking.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's just when you think about it, it's funny. I'd rather throw myself down a never-ending staircase.
Just keep hitting over and over and over again.
69, oh, God, than listen to the Gamecasters.
Oh, man.
And our resident over-the-topper, Jim Gamer, ended things
Heyo.
off by
boy.
saying, I'd rather clean 69 pairs of Ryan's sweaty training shorts, the thing I'm guessing is gym shorts, than listen to any more episodes of the game Plasters, known for plastering over the cracks of their lack of game knowledge, ability to string a sentence together, bullshit, or get through
Says
even
Jim.
the shortest of segments without resorting to dick or fart jokes.
Okay, well,
You're not wrong on the last
we
part,
can't
but-
argue with him.
yeah.
I know.
Jim it's hilarious how he's like, he thinks roasting is like, let's be the
Let's be as
meanest I
mean
can possibly
as we can
ever be.
Let's murder
I
them
need
with
to.
words.
If you're not crying, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Is basically what he's like.
I do it right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that okay, guys?
Yeah. Love you guys.
Like he goes after. It's like he basically goes after our families.
Yeah.
You know.
I bet
was
after
great.
that he was probably like, hey, how you doing? Are you feeling any better?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was. That's exactly what happened. That is exactly what
That's
happened.
great.
He's great. He's just the Brits don't have that, right? Isn't he the one that said that? Like
yeah,
they don't.
they don't
There's
do
not
like
really
a
roasts
roasting
over there.
Yeah.
So he's like,
They're
is
just
this how I do
nice.
it?
There's
feel
nice
like
people.
normal-
Yeah, they're just very nice.
Normal
kind
people don't
people.
have that. Who wants to be like a ridicule?
Ridicule. We were just ridicule.
Wouldn't it be really cool?
Wouldn't it be ridicule?
Wouldn't it be really cool?
Let's ridicule each
if we
other
had-
right now.
What was
Jeff,
that
you
thing
look so
about not
freaking
being able to
awesome in
finish a
those
sentence?
glasses.
What was that thing about not being able to finish a sentence again?
Ability.
Yep.
He's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
He's correct. He's just a dick. So, Jeff, have you been playing any games, man?
I have been playing some games.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
What have you played?
Let's talk about some games I've been playing before we talk about games I've been playing.
I like that idea,
Okay.
whatever that means.
Devin and I got Orleans back to the table.
Awesome.
It's so
You
good.
still have not done...
We haven't done the co-op.
co-op?
That'll be our next. So
Do you have it?
I do have it.
You have to
because it's in the
try
big
it.
box. So it was the night, and I was like, "Hey, you want to just play something that we already know?" And Devin said we haven't played Orleans in a while, so I just set that up and played it.
And you have the Geek Up bits, right?
Oh, the Geek Up bits are
Everything. Life.
worth it. That and the Quacks are just, they're essential.
Yeah,
Like,
those you
need
have to
them
get.
because
Should we have a Gamecasters essential components?
yes, because when you touch those pieces so much, right? And that
Yeah.
they're handled like with Trajan. They have these Trajan bits
Yeah.
that replace some of these, and they're
I have
not.
them.
I wouldn't say they're necessary, right?
Right.
Because the cardboard, it doesn't matter. But when you're feeling like into a bag and
your
you
finger
want,
pads?
then your finger pads you want to touch them. But so that was a really awesome game. Devin kicked my ass.
Did she?
Oh yeah, she rolled. So
Oh,
she
that's
might be in
cool.
like the gaming mood now.
That's gotta
She kicked
make
my
it feel
butt.
good. Yeah.
We played La Isla again. That
Yeah,
Stefan
cool.
Feld
I
game.
forgot
That
you had that. Yeah.
Bill picked it for a game.
Okay, I was
night.
gonna say, I thought that
so.
was Bill's, yeah.
We played Star Trek Panic first.
Oh.
Which is like Castle Panic.
Castle
If you
Panic.
played any of the Castle Panic, there's a zombie panic maybe too. So this one is themed where you're on the, I don't know any shit about Star Trek. The Enterprise? Is
Yep,
that-
that's it. That's-
so you're on the Enterprise. The Enterprise is the middle, and you're essentially turning the Enterprise and shooting the different attackers from the
Oh,
area.
the Enterprise is shooting
Yeah.
the guys? Oh, that's cool.
So it's a cool game. If you like those panic games, that's a cool one. But La Isla is a
Good
good
cooperative game.
Yes. Yeah, La Isla is it's a good game. And I like that it only takes 40 minutes. There's not a lot of Feld games I feel like take that quick of time, but also give you what I feel like is a game experience.
Yeah, that's one of his quicker
right?
ones, right?
Yeah.
Bruges is also pretty quick.
Yes, Bruges can be
Yeah,
quick, especially
Bruges
if you're
can be
drawn from
quick.
that same pile.
For
You can
sure.
like cruise that thing. But anyway, I want to talk about this is a hot game. It's hot. It's hot. This game's called Merchant's Cove.
Oh, shit. Ouch, dude.
Look how
You're burning
hot
me.
that was.
It's so hot.
Do you know who designs Merchant's Cove?
I have no
We
idea.
talked about him a couple episodes
Stefan
ago.
Feldkon.
Johnny Pack.
Johnny Pack.
Yep.
Of course.
Johnny Pack, who also designed Lions of Lydia.
Yeah.
So Merchant's Cove was a huge Kickstarter.
And Kalimala.
And no, Kalimala
No.
is
Coloma. One of those two?
Coloma. Yeah, I think it's Coloma.
I'm like, it's one of the two
yes,
of those.
it's not Kalimala,
Okay,
it's Coloma.
Coloma.
But Merchant's Cove was a Kickstarter. It got delivered to backers, and it was you basically got the base game, and like it was one of those ones that showed up with like 6 boxes, right? You get this one
Right.
big box, and you have all these expansions, and it's just like
That don't fit in the main box?
they don't fit in the main. Of
Shit.
course, it's just like
Yeah.
this huge, this massive thing. But I was interested in the game. I wasn't able to kickstart it, and I saw it on the shelf at our local game store, and I was looking at it, and Joe was with me, and I was like talking this game up. I'm like, I want this game.
Yeah, this looks sweet.
I'm like, it's $80 on the shelf. You might be able to get it on Amazon for a little cheaper. I'm like, let me
Oh,
just
the manipulation
I'm like,
game.
let me just pause it for a second.
Oh, I thought you made Joe buy it. I'm like, the manipulation
so
game.
I waited, and I was like, I don't want it right now. And I think it caught Joe's attention a little bit.
Of course.
And I maybe took a little too long, and Joe snatched it up.
Of course.
There was, I don't know if there was a deal of a day, and then I think he bought Under Falling Skies.
Cool.
And then, of course, had to add Merchant's Cove to get free shipping. So, whatever. Whatever excuse he made. But he ended up buying it. And I was really excited that he bought it because I really wanted to play it. So if he didn't buy it, I was going to buy it soon. But he did it first, so that's what you get for throwing off my floor.
That's what
So the cool thing about Merchant's Cove is it's an asymmetrical economic Euro game, which is kind of a weird combination, right?
I did not know it was a Euro game.
It's more Euro than it is like if I had to go between Ameritrash and Euro, it'd be a Euro game. But there's always those elements of both, right? But sometimes with these asymmetrical games, you get a more Ameritrash like area control sort of games. This is not. So the theme of it is players are assuming the role of different fantasy merchants with their own unique shop.
I've always dreamed of being a fantasy merchant.
Of course.
Oh, God.
With your own unique shop, and that unique shop would be the asymmetrical part of the game. So the goal of the game is to create goods to sell to the arriving adventurers. So the board, there's a big board. On the top of the board, you have these boats that are going to be full of meeples. That's what you're going to be selling your goods to.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures of this.
On the bottom of the board, you have some cards that are laid out for like helpers, and then sort of this like time track. Okay,
this is the marbles one, right? There's marbles in it?
There's marbles in this one. That's one of the unique shops that you can have.
I think I saw Ben and M playing this, right?
Yeah, they were playing this.
Ben and M
we saw that at their when we went over there.
Yes.
That's this game.
Ben might have... I don't know if he has all of them, but he has like a lot of it.
He backed it, right?
Okay, so he has everything.
I don't know.
Okay, so he might have everything. I know he has more boxes than...
Maybe he did.
Because Joe has one box. So yeah, so the goal being to create goods to sell to these arrivers. So think, basically you're making goods, and then these tourists show up to the docks, and you're trying to sell them your garbage. That's kind of like... Yeah. It's not really garbage, but that's...
Yeah.
I always figure when I go to like a place like Cancun, you go out of country, and all these people like swarm you, and they're like, buy this bracelet. Okay, so that's kind of what you're doing. Players take actions, and they all take a certain amount of time. So that determines the turn order throughout the round. Think of like patchwork.
Okay.
So if I do this one action, it takes 2 hourglasses. I move ahead 2. If I'm still behind, I go again.
Sure.
Right. So you work that system, which I think is, I like in most games. I also like it in this game too. I think that's a neat way of doing turn order, and also gives you that cool advantage of maybe you can take 2 turns in a row and do something in this kind of sneaky realm, which I
love
always
that.
kind of cool.
That's one of my favorite kind of things.
So mostly these actions include making one of 4 different goods in 2 sizes. So there's like a red, a blue, a green, and a yellow in both small and large.
Okay.
You're making them. You're not buying them.
You're making them.
Okay.
So you're making them to sell to these people coming in. Yep.
Got it.
The other things you can do on your turn are really, you can get bonus cards, which are kind of like special powers. They're like an immediate power that you can do. So you buy these bonus cards, which are cool. And then you add them to sort of this track that you can run like this kind of system later. But as you move throughout the round, you draw these meeples and you add them to the boats. So once I pass a certain timer on the track, I pull a meeple out of a bag and I add it to a boat. Okay. Once those broats are full,
there you go.
I take a broat and I sail it to one of the docks. There's 3 different docks. Each dock wants either a small good or a big good.
Okay.
And then the colors of the meeples in the boat tells you what color that
How do you know what size they're looking for?
It says it on the dock.
Oh, okay. So it's printed on the boat?
So it's printed on the board. So I might finish a boat, put all 4 people in a boat, put the last one there, and then I might sail it to the big dock.
Sure.
And there might be 2 greens, a blue, and a red. So that means that at the end of the round, you're going to be selling big greens, yellow, and red, or whatever colors I said. So the meeples color is the color of the product they want to buy.
Cool.
And then the size is where they are on the docks.
Okay, I think I get it.
Yeah, so at the end of the round, basically, you have the option of selling all your goods that you've made that round to the docked boats.
Okay.
So, yeah, if there's 2 boats in the middle one, they all want small goods. So let's say I have 2 red small goods, and there's 5 red meeples at that one dock. I can sell both of those things to all 5 of that thing. So I have 3 points on my red item. I sell it to 5 people. I get 15 points. There's no competition there. I can sell to all the red people. You can sell to all the red people. Natalie can sell to all the red people. You just sell all your goods to the people that are at the docks if you want. Yeah, right. And you have 3 rounds to do this. So you sell 3 times, and then most point wins. That's how you're getting points throughout the entire game. Is basically at the end of the round, you're selling all your goods to the meeples that are showing up, matching colors. Okay. So what makes the game different is that each player has their own player board, their own setup that really dictates all of their actions and how they're essentially producing their goods. and how they create the goods that they have. So, for example, it's like a mini game. You know, you have these. I'm playing my own mini game to make my goods. Joe's playing his own mini game. Devin was playing her own mini game. So Devin had the blacksmith, and she basically was working with dice. She had to manipulate dice to create. Her items were like swords and axes and stuff that a blacksmith would make. So she was working with dice. Joe was this captain, and he was sailing around his own board, fishing for his goods. So his goods were like fish treasure or stuff like that.
Concept.
And then I was the chronomancer. I'm pretty sure I was the chronomancer.
Okay, so like time travel stuff?
I was time traveling. So I was going back in time, finding old artifacts and using those. So all of my items were different, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I was working this like kind of clockwise board, traveling in and out of my time machine, sort of, that had the actions on it, and moving these two, the chronomancer and the assistant or whatever, around. Yes, Ryan?
Can I just stop you for 1 sec?
Yeah.
With a question? So the asymmetric stuff only has to do with how you create your goods.
Yeah, how I take my actions.
So
which mostly are creating goods.
Your
And what
asymmetric
goods you
power
create.
does not impact mine as far as what you do with them once they're made.
Right.
Right? So, okay, that's interesting. So it's not like you're better at doing this
No.
than I am. It's just you have your own. I as Mr. Game Designer Johnny Pack decided to make the way you get your resource different than the way I get mine.
Yeah.
Does it like? I'm just interested to know, I guess, from your point
Could it
of
be a
view.
disadvantage if you have one over another?
No, I was just going to say, like, what's the point?
So to answer Natalie, there are like kind of levels. I think the blacksmith and the alchemist, which has the marbles, I think are supposedly a little easier to get things done.
Okay.
The chronomancer was the hardest, Joe said, to get things done. But it was like a puzzle you kind of had to figure out. So at the beginning, my actions costed a little more. But as I was changing out my time machine, I got more efficient. So you have to like try to work that system differently to create goods maybe more efficiently and not spend as much time. Joe could get a lot of goods at the same time, but had to sail to certain places. Devin had to get certain numbers on the dice in order to like create a bigger or better item. So it's really just you're playing this own mini game to get the goods, to take the cards off the thing, to take your own actions, but you're not really affecting anybody else.
Yeah, okay. I guess wonder what the reason is that they're different.
So I don't know, to make the game not the same every time you play it.
Yeah.
Because
You
so
pick
when I get to
different
one of my
character, kind
Maybe it's a
Yeah.
replayability thing.
when I get to one of my negatives, there's nothing unique about the actual like scoring. The game board is just I have these goods and I'm selling them to someone. That's not fun.
Right.
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 But
So
the
the fun
fun
part
is
is the
so this
producing
game
goods.
can just be so next time I might want to play the Chronomancer because I did okay and I'm like, oh, let me try to figure out this puzzle a little better. But once I maybe have that down, I just now play an entirely different.
And I want to do the marble one.
Yeah, I want to do the marble one. I want to figure out this puzzle in order to make goods to sell it.
Okay.
So I think you can play the game always, but you don't ever have to like if they're thinking about expansions and making more things. He doesn't have to change how the game is played. He just makes a new
power.
a new mini game, right?
Well, so
a
that's
new little
interesting.
thing.
So is there a way to figure out a certain power to play better than someone else's power?
Probably.
Because I guess that would be the one thing that would, if I were to give pause on this game for the asymmetric portion.
Yeah.
Would that be like, does me doing the marble game and you doing the sailing around the board game, like, are you going to be better at that than I am? And so now I have to figure out how to play mine, so I'm better at mine than yours? Or is it literally just, this is the way I make my stuff, that's the way you make your stuff, and there's
Like
no
could
competition
I be
between
worse
them?
at it than
Yeah, is there a way you could be worse at it where you'd be like, oh, this time my strategy is going to be when I play the Chronomancer to do this more instead of that, and that's how I would make more.
Well, how did
like
it
is
turn
that,
out
I think
with
this-
how many things you guys
Yeah,
produce?
yeah.
I
that's
think
a good
the
question.
strategy would change based on your own, that you wouldn't base your strategy upon what Natalie is doing. It is very much it's almost 100% multiplayer solitaire because
Yeah.
you're just
Yeah.
playing your own game.
Sure.
Because I can sell all of my goods to everybody that shows up.
I guess what I'm asking is like, is the marble one easier than the chrono one? So
Supposedly,
could you
that's
be
what it
like,
kind of says.
Okay,
It's
Natalie's
easier to
making
function,
resources
yeah.
so much faster than me. What am I not doing with mine? And is
Yeah.
that where the fun of the
Yes,
game?
you could be
is?
like that. So I started. So when we played, Joe got like 40 more points than we did at the first round.
Wow.
Devin and I were close. Joe was like halfway around the board, and I was like,
Okay,
okay, is this just going to end with us just getting
Yeah,
demolished?
Joe gets 200
because even
points,
at
we
this
get 50.
point, I can only sell 2 more times. Am I going to gain that amount of points back with making my board more efficient?
Right.
And at the end of the game, I lost by like 9 or 10.
Oh.
So I made like a big swing. So I saw my puzzle get more efficient. I saw my time machine get more efficient because as I changed out these tiles that were in my time machine, I then spent less time making my items or making my products to sell.
Joe just kind of got lucky earlier on because he was.
Joe was able to
learning
kind of be maybe
thing
more
for you,
consistent, and I started slow and then sort of picked it up.
You think it would be that way if you played again? Or knowing what you know after your first play, would you start faster?
I think I would change how I played the Chronomancer.
Because this is really intriguing.
Yeah. I think I would change how I played the Chronomancer at the beginning. Knowing like, all right, I know I can ramp this up. How can I make my second and third round the most efficient possible? Because I know my first round might not be. And I know Devin also like 3 rounds in, or not 3 rounds, like 3 turns in, she was like, okay, I needed to do this first. I needed to take all my dice off of this one space so I have them to use. And she didn't do that right away.
Right.
So she was also like, that's how I make this the most efficient in the middle of the first round and start her engine quicker. So, and Joe kind of had, he had this like spinner thing that allowed him to move around the board.
His own board.
He kind of got going first. Like he got going right away, but then kind of stalled out toward the end because it was the same sort of product. The only thing that you're really like competing and I might try a little more strategy with is when I pull a meeple out, maybe being more thoughtful in what boat I put it in.
Yeah.
And then going, all right, Joe has 2 green items. I have this green. I'm not going to put it in the same boat as another green guy because then he's going to be able to sell them to both and get those points. So maybe I move it or I try to sail a boat faster to speed the round up.
Okay, so there is some more strategic stuff that you can do outside of your own.
Yes, some. I would say that's a small. You don't have a ton of control over what meeple comes out, or there's also games like some of these heavier economic games. I think like Smartphone Inc. comes to my head right away. If I'm first in turn order in Smartphone Inc., I get to sell my phones to everybody first, and then those people they don't need another phone; they go away.
Right.
So if that makes this game an economic game, right? Of course.
You need a burner
to make this game like a true economic game. If you're going in playing, I want to play a cutthroat economic game. This is not.
You're not going to find it
because I can sell to everybody. But if it was like, hey, I spent less time this round, I get to go first, and now I'm selling it, and those meeples are now gone for the next person. That would create more tension in where you put the meeples, in how you use your time.
Do you want to see that happen?
I would love to just. Johnny Pack's he's got to. That's an easy fix, maybe not fix, but change that could make the game more cutthroat. But does he want that game to be that way? Does he want it to be more of the experience of playing your own little mini game?
So I guess honestly, it's what do you want?
I kind of liked it staying lighter.
Okay.
And just, but again, maybe once I master my board or I've played all of them a couple times, then it's like,
okay, if I'm going to play it again, I need to do something.
I know how to win with the Alchemist. I know how to win with the Captain. I know how to do the best of this. So then is it just who can do it the fastest? And like, that's not very fun.
Yeah.
So at this point with just trying out the different mini games or different characters, I'm having fun doing that. But once I master that, there probably should have been there might be another level that I would want to then be more competitive. So not only plan my puzzle, but also try to mess with your puzzle and mess with your plan.
Very interested in this game. Sorry, I cut you off a long time ago.
So just some thoughts, and that's a lot of it is I think the concept of the game is very cool. Everyone manipulating their own sort of mini game. It kind of seems expandable. So he's just going to keep going, right? With these things. You can sell $20 packs of a new, and which they've done. They have 4 that came in the base game, and I think there's at least 4 more other ones that you can just, again, sub in, which is kind of nice. There's not a lot of teaching of the game, and each character comes with their own small little rule book, so you just kind of read what you do. So that was kind of nice to be able to do that.
Yep.
The production and artwork is awesome. Is like through the roof.
It looks really beautiful.
The artist is the same person that does the West Kingdom games.
Oh, the Miko.
Yeah, the Miko. So the Miko did the West Kingdom games and Valeria or whatever that other one. So it just has such a cool look and kind of fits this goofy fantasy merchant, dirty pirate, warts all over people's face. Just a cool look to it. So it kind of gets you into it. I liked it, even though the scoring and what I was doing at the end of the round was just kind of uninteresting, right? Here are my goods. Yeah. I turn them in here. Now move my points around. That was uninteresting.
The asymmetric
but then
powers
the games start, and then it's like, okay, my game is here. My game is playing the character in front of me, not not the end game scoring, right? Where if you play like a Stefan Feld game or you play like one of the T games and there's all this like intricate ways of scoring, right? Where like I can be sneaky and do this and score points here and take this path. Your path is make goods, sell it here.
Right.
That's not interesting, but how you're
Right.
doing it is the interesting part.
Right.
If you don't like multiplayer solitaire, it was a lot of like looking down at your own board trying to figure it out. So there's a lot of top of heads if you're looking around the table.
That's like
but that doesn't bother
mark
me.
in its favor for me.
Yeah, that
I
doesn't
love that
bother me.
stuff.
I think, like I said, I think I would maybe try a little more strategy with placing meeples or moving boats or trying to work those player cards a little more because I was really focused on just my board, and maybe there's got to be more of a little game to like what cards I take and what meeples I put and where I sail the boats, and maybe being a little more thoughtful with that creates some more strategy. But overall, I liked it. I liked playing the Chronomancer. I would want to do it again, and then after that, I would be done with it. Like I'll do it one more time, play with it, see how I do, and then move
Try
on and
another one.
play the Alchemist, right? Play the marble game or play the dice game that Devin was playing, which I liked. I liked how everything was so uniquely different, but all tied back into the same objective. I thought that was cool. It's just it was well thought out, obviously. And I
How
think
long
there
did
was
it take to play?
an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was definitely like in a good. You play it in game night, you could play it 2 players easily. I know Ben and Em really had a good time just playing it 2 players.
Yeah.
So I would suggest checking it out, and like it's good. Like
Is it? And it's available via retail because you saw it in
you can get
RIW.
it. I understand it's the accolades it's getting, the press it's been getting, because it's going to be getting a lot of like good reviews.
Yeah.
I think it's at almost an 8 on Board Game Geek, and it would be definitely something I'd be
7.9.
interested in playing again and trying a different faction and just trying to play the mini games differently. So
It looks cool.
Yeah,
It looks really cool.
Merchant's Cove.
So that is Merchant's Cove. Awesome. Well, this episode, 69, has inspired me to kind of unkink my hose a little bit.
Ooh,
It has.
heyo.
Yeah, a little inspiration. How can I have a kinked hose for episode 69?
That's a good point.
Right? I can't. It would be a waste of such a glorious number. So instead of playing nothing, we actually played a game we've been wanting to play for a long time. Rococo.
Rococo.
Rococo. Rococo.
Oh my god.
Have any of you ever seen a chicken? So I got the Rococo. Rococo. I got the Rococo Deluxe Plus edition,
Ooh, the
minus
Deluxe
the
one.
metal coins.
Deluxe
So there's a
Plus.
Rococo, there's a Rococo Deluxe, there's a Rococo Deluxe Plus, which I have, and then there's a Rococo Deluxe Plus metal coins.
So you have the middle.
I have the middle
Medium.
one, which I didn't know when I bought it. I
Yeah, what
assumed
the
I
heck?
had
Just
the
give us some metal coins. We
one.
got Deluxe Plus.
Yeah.
We need a plus.
Well, I got a really good deal on it. It was like $68.99. Oh. So, okay. Anyway, instead of playing nothing, we played Rococo.
Instead of our normal nothing, we played Rococo.
We actually played a real game.
Yeah, you played a real game. Rococo.
Rococo is a game about... How is it actually? Rococo. I think it's Rococo.
Rococo.
Rococo is a game about
Rococo.
making fancy dresses and pantaloons. So naturally, I wanted to give it a whirl. As you know me, you know I love a good taking...
Alone.
Good tailoring.
You know I love taking bales of silk and weaving them together to create Cinderella-esque ball gowns adorned with the most beautiful hand-cut lace. Catch my other podcast, So What? A Dressmaker's Guide to the
Ooh,
Galaxy. Get
cute.
it? So, like
I get it.
SEW. We release that every Tuesday night at exactly twilight-ish. So anyway, Rococo has been notorious... What is it again? Rococo.
Rococo.
Rococo?
Rococo has been notorious...
We don't know.
Rococo.
Rococo has been notorious for being a super clever game dressed up, get it, in a mildly off-putting or strange theme.
Yeah.
The general consensus being that the theme be damned. Okay, the game is good.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I was always a bit intrigued, but never really intrigued enough to seek it out because of the theme.
Is it older?
Yeah, it came out in probably like 2014.
yeah, this is like
Whoa, I didn't
this is
know
a
that.
complete like a redo of it, right? This is an updated
same
version.
game. They just
yeah.
so I'll get to that. So it got the big box
get to
Eagle
that.
Griffin ELO tool treatment.
Boom.
Which just made me moan with delight at the thought of it. I also found a great sale. Again, it retails, I think the Rococo Deluxe Plus minus metal coins edition retails for like 120.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you
I got
really-
it. I got it for like 69.
Did you really?
No. And so I lapped that
$68.99.
Would you
deal
give
up
her
with all the
100?
disgusting slurpy noise you can imagine. I don't remember. I think I got a deal on it.
Got
I
for
don't
110.
remember.
It was
Yeah.
120. You got for 110.
I got it for
We've had it
119.
for a while.
Okay, it's like when you go to Kohl's, they circle the bottom, so you save $10.
Well, on my shelf, it sat while I toiled and languished in a pustule of board gaming purgatory, not able to escape until episode 69 came round and led me to salvation. I set up and learned the game in the blink of an eye, and away we went. I was shocked at how smooth and easy to understand the rulebook was, and after a while realized that this game is dressed up in an EGG suit of armor, but it's really as light as Egyptian cotton, coming in at a 3.
Oh.
Yeah, smack dab in the middle of the BGG weight scale. I had always assumed this game was much heavier than that.
Me too.
I don't really know why, but I did. But I was wrong.
It wasn't.
The weight is something more akin to games that I, and all of us really, enjoy playing most of all. And so something happened to me that hasn't happened in many, many months. I was excited.
Whoa.
I was excited. Like I felt
Like in your
a
pants.
movement.
Oh,
I felt a
Pants
Maisie-esque movement in my tum-tum.
Episode 69
Yeah, okay.
is really helping you out.
Like actual...
Ew.
69 typically helps me.
Yeah.
Like genuine actual excitement for a board game. It's been a long time since that happened. I lied to myself a few times about being excited, but this was real. I hadn't actually sat down to learn a game in upwards of a half a year, it seems like. And so it just kind of felt great to sit down and read a rule book and set it up. So I didn't want to say, I don't really want to say I'm back. But I
It was
also...
the
But you're on
beginning
that
of being
path.
back.
Yeah.
You might be on the path.
But I kind of
to
like,
back.
I want you to say it.
I want you to say
Right.
He's
so
back,
let's talk
baby.
about Rococo. Let's talk about Rococo.
Rococo.
The game that might be ending the slump for me. In Rococo, you are managing a hand of cards to take actions to create garments, to rent or sell, to earn points, to earn money to win the game. It's really quite simple conceptually and doesn't really do anything new that you haven't seen. I mean, it's been around for a number of years now.
Yeah.
So don't go into this if you just get it expecting to be wowed by like new mechanisms you haven't seen before because
it's an old game.
It's an older game. That said, the game does not feel dated to me. Did you
No,
feel that right?
I had
That's
no
good.
idea it was
It
old.
kind of takes a spin on the deck building mechanism. I would never call this a deck building game, even though you are building a deck all game. It's strange. So here's the gist of how it works. You start the game with a deck of 5 cards. You can only put 3 of them into your hand each turn to play. But the cool thing is you don't ever shuffle the deck. Okay? You get to choose which cards you want. You don't draw them. So there's 3 different types of cards. There's masters who can perform every action in the game, of which there are 6. There's journeymen who can perform most of all the actions in the game. And then there's apprentices who can perform some of the actions in the game. Your deck is made up of these types of cards, right? On your turn, you simply take a card from your hand and play it to the discard pile, choosing a main action to perform on the board, like collecting resources, crafting a garment, funding a festive decoration, or hiring a new employee, which is getting a card. After that action, you can take a bonus action that's on the card that you played, if there are any. Then the next player goes, then the next player goes, until each player has played their entire hand of 3 cards, or more, which I'll explain. After that, you move on to the next round, and after 7 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. It's that simple. But it's not that easy.
Ooh.
Right? Deciding when to play the card... to play what card, I should say, is really the magic, I think, of the game. At its heart, the game is about majorities and buying things that you want before your opponents can do it. Do I have time to hire this employee card and get the resources I want? Or will Natalie grab those resources if I hire this employee first? There's a lot going on in this game that's really juicy for that reason. So the way it works is there's all these resources in like in these different, like, they're drawers. But I'm just going to say there's a line of resource tokens. And the cost to get a resource is dependent on how many resources are in that grouping. So if there's 3 resources in this grouping, it costs me $2. But if I then buy one and Natalie now wants to get one in that grouping, it's less money. It's only $1. And now there's only 1 left. If I want that, it's free. Okay? So it kind of works that way for garments. You're sewing together these garments, and those are tiles. And that's how you get a lot of your main points. But those garments cost money. From 0 all the way to like $8 or $9. So most of the time, to be economical, you're going to try to sew one of the garments. And there's no difference between the garments. They just randomly come out. And some are cheaper, some are more expensive. So you are mostly going after the ones that you don't have to pay a lot for. So because of that, there's competition for those. And you see what resources are on those tiles. And so then now there's competition for the resource tiles. So there's like a bunch of options, but there's really only ever a few that you and your opponents are going to all try to go
Find
for.
worthwhile to like pay
Right.
for.
So that creates this like, shit, I want to do this action, but I also need those resources for that garment.
And like, what if
This
she
action,
goes,
yeah, if I do this action now, Natalie's probably going to take that. And if she does, now I'm kind of screwed over for this round. But if I go here and take that first, she's going to snatch that card that I was just about to take. And that screws me.
I like that.
So
tenseness.
it's really, that's like my favorite part of this game.
And there'd be no reason for you to skip and try to just be like, all right, well, I won't get the first one. I'll try to just go for the last one. You know, it's like sometimes in those games where it's like, this is worth less points, but it's easy to get. But this is worth more points.
Once in a while, there's that. Once in a while, there's like, well, if she gets that one, it's fine because there's 4 other ones that do the same thing.
But it's all random, so it might
so that
not
might
work.
happen. And same with the cards. There's cards that come out that you want to get first because they're awesome.
But that's the tension that the game wants to create.
Yeah, that's the tension the game wants. Exactly. So when you craft the garments, you either place them onto the board. So I turn in my resources and I say I'm going to sew this garment together. Once I do that, I take that tile and I make a decision. Either I put it on the board, and if I do that, that will give me points at the end of the game. But it gives me nothing now. Or I can sell it to somebody and get a shit ton of money. It gives you a lot. Like they give you a lot of money.
It's a hard decision to make
because money is used for everything in this game.
Right, like you might get 3 points, or you could get $25.
Yeah.
It's like whoa.
But the reason you might want to put it on the board is okay. You don't see it right now, but this game at its heart, which you don't really, it doesn't feel this way, but it's like it's an area majority game. There's 5 different halls on the board. The board is like this mansion. It's like a slice of mansion.
It's like beautiful looking.
It's so good. It's Eno Tool, for fuck's sake.
That guy.
And you put these tiles on the board, and when I put that there, okay, that's one tile I have in this hall that gives me 5 bonus points majority if I win that majority. And so if you're not doing that and you're just selling and getting money, now I don't get the points for that tile at the end of the game, and I also am not getting points for the majority in this hall.
Yeah.
I like that. I like those decisions. That's cool.
It's
there was hard.
really,
locked Ryan up.
juicy. Oh my God. A few times I was locked up. Like I said, you use money for everything. So having it is really important. But if you sell all the garments you create and don't put any on the board, like we just talked about, you won't be getting many end-game points. So it's a balancing act, which I think we both really enjoy. When you place the garment tiles on the board, you choose any one of those halls I mentioned to place it in. Each hall has an end-game victory point award for whoever has the most of their garments in it. So there's an area majority aspect, like I said, that if you sleep on, you're done. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. The points are usually low, so it doesn't always seem like it's a huge deal. Like, the board goes up to 100, okay? Which is like, that's a ton of points. But the majorities for these halls are anywhere between 2 and 6. So it's not like a ton.
Like, well, why would I want only 2
so you're
points?
like, maybe I don't need
$10.
to, give me $25 so I can do all this other stuff. Right. It's crazy. The game at 2 players took about an hour and a half, I think, with rules.
Okay.
Wouldn't you say?
It's
not that rules heavy, which is a great replayability mark in its favor.
Yeah.
It's like, it was so simple for me to read the rule. And the rule book, amazing. The rule book was amazing. It was so easy to understand. I was with it the whole time. Sometimes you're like reading and you're like,
what?
I got to go back at that and read that a few more times. Or I don't understand this concept. I got to watch a video to cement it.
Yeah.
This, I felt like after I read the rule book, I was good to go.
It's nice.
So things I liked. The game is gorgeous, right? I mean, it's got that Eco Griffin treatment. So if you know that ahead of time, you're going to love this. It's outstanding component quality wise as well as artistically. Ian O'Toole, I'm going to just say he's my favorite artist, I think, at this point.
He's good.
Always great to look at. The board is like this mansion, like we talked about, and at the top are these like firework displays. And it just all looks so like inviting and like lush, yet functions perfectly in the game.
So it's always so good.
The cohesion with which he combines art and graphic design is like awe-inspiring. I don't know how he does it. The gameplay is very, very good. It's very tight. It's very stressful. I was incredibly stressed the whole time, right? I was like, this is stressing me out. Like, I'm very stressed in the good way.
Yeah, right.
It was the good stress.
He kept apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry. I'll go soon.
Because there was a lot of times I was like, it was that situation I said to you, do I get that card or do I get those resources? I'm like, whatever one I don't do, she'll do.
Yeah.
Like, I know it. Because this is the best
she
card
knows,
out
and she's
here.
just like, haha.
Yeah, she's just sitting there like, what's he going to do? You know, and so
Most
like,
of the time
I'm
I was
locked.
just
It makes
I
your
don't have
time
a plan.
easy, too.
Yeah. So the nature of area majority is stressful. Just the nature of that, right? Because you're constantly back and forth jockeying, right? In an area majority.
You can't ever
game.
think like, okay, I got this.
Yeah,
like you could do something and you're like, I don't got this. How do I fix
all
that?
of a sudden, because I see like, Natalie's got like 10 resource tiles, which means all she's going to be doing the next few turns is buying those garments, which means she's going to be putting them out like crazy. Because I got the majorities here, but she could just spend 4 turns in a row, boom, 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 and then all of a sudden now I lost everything, right? I also really enjoyed the card play. I have a bunch of cards. Which ones do I want to play this round? You get to add cards to your deck throughout the game. But again, you're never shuffling them or anything like that. You get to pick whatever you want to do. The powers they provide really ramp up the decision space as you go, which I really enjoy. I love games where you don't really know how well you're doing until the end. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, I guess, because on the one hand, you're stressed like, oh my God, am I doing well or am I doing terribly? But at the same time, you don't just see how many points you're behind all game, which depresses you and makes you want to quit.
Sure.
That can happen. That's happened to me a lot where I'm like, well, I'm behind 40 points. I'm not going to catch up. Why am I doing this? You don't get that in this game because you don't really know until the end. You can kind of at a snapshot in time be like, okay, I have this many points. I think I got her here. But you don't really know. Okay. Things I didn't like. The price tag. All right.
But
this game is gorgeous and amazing.
Right.
Yeah, but that deal was only for me.
Oh, it was a Ryan James.
It was a Ryan James deal. What I mean by that is
I missed that deal.
There's no deals going on for this game normally.
Right.
Okay, it doesn't really need to be this gorgeous and amazing. That's weird. You know, it's weird because this doesn't seem like a game that requires this addition. Like all the Vital Lacerda games to me are so unique and heavy and thinky, and it feels like this crazy awesome addition kind of suits them because they're just they're almost on a different level.
Yeah.
The Vital Lacerda games, they're so different. That suits them perfectly. Like they were built for those editions. Rococo just seems like a normal game that got this treatment. Don't get me wrong. I talk all the time how I wish this would happen to something like Castles of Burgundy.
Yeah.
But I don't love the gameplay of Rococo as much as a game like Castles of Burgundy. So this edition almost feels superfluous and a little bit like, why? Almost.
Yeah.
The original edition, so here's another difference between that and Castles of Burgundy. Castles of Burgundy original edition is, pretty widely considered, it's contentious at least, that it's ugly.
Yeah.
Right? It's paper thin, the components aren't great, and it's ugly. Amazing game, do something with it. The original edition of Rococo was fine. Like, if you look at the...
about it, besides, the artwork.
That's it.
Like, it had the same, all
the mechanisms were the same.
Resources?
No, I mean, okay. Functionally, it was the same.
Oh, okay.
There was nothing wrong with it. The board was beautiful. Still had those explosions, the fireworks, the mansion, everything like that. All the cards, everything was fine. It just went out of print, right?
Oh, okay.
And then it came back through Eagle Griffin. The original edition was not an ugly wasteland of paper-thin cardstock and brown color palette. So I'm not quite sure why this game got this fancy new edition. And the only gripe I have about that, though, is the price tag. If you buy this from their website, which is really, I think, the only place you can get it right now, other than maybe the secondary marketplace, which is usually even priced higher, it's over $100. And there just isn't enough game here to substantiate that price point.
Yeah, I probably would not pay $100 for that.
No, heck no. I was watching the Shut Up and Sit Down review of this, and they echoed a lot of that, saying that you really have to feel like you're getting your money's worth in the gameplay. And while I think the game is really, really good, it's not so good that you want to pay $120 to get it, I don't think.
I agree.
That is a lot of money for a good game. Okay. That probably all sounds like maybe I don't really like it. I really like it. It's 100% for me in the 10% of the 10%.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if it's in the 1% of the 10%, but it is very good. It is very good. I would probably give it an 8 after my first play, and I think it could go up because the game comes with one of the expansions that was released for Rococo. This comes with it.
Okay.
We didn't play with it because I wanted to just go vanilla right at the out the gate. But I think if you add the expansion in it, because that's another one potential gripe I have is the game could get samey after a few plays. There's not enough there in the base game to be a game you want to play over and over and over again without expanding.
Okay.
We could probably play it 5 times and it would be just as fun as it was the first time. Any more than that, I honestly feel like you might be like, all right, well, I kind of get the cadence of this and the flow now. More. I need some more stuff.
Yeah.
So what did you think, Natalie?
Well, it's funny. I didn't really think about the artwork like you did, but when you said that, I completely agree with you. It's kind of like, I mean, I agree with what everyone else thinks about the theme. I even wrote, that's the first thing I wrote, no interest in the theme.
Yeah, who cares?
Like, at all. Like, the
who
theme.
Cares?
And so, like, kind of because of that, like, I feel like the artwork didn't really matter. And I don't know, you're right. It was a little too much for the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessary, and it didn't really add anything to it. To me, like, I just didn't really care, I guess.
Yeah.
But, maybe that's just my opinion. But, yes, I agree
Definitely
with
just
you.
Your opinion.
It's not yours. It's my opinion.
I also enjoyed the game. It it's definitely something I think that I need to play again. This game, like you said, we were not really sure. One of the biggest things is like I wasn't sure how to do well or how the points were going to play out, because like you said, everywhere you get points, it always seemed like it was just a little bit of points, so you get 3 points here, I get 4 points here, you get 2 points here, and so we were even talking like I was like, I feel like when the game ends, we're both going to get like 25 points, but it goes up to 100.
It was like
what
Underwater
the hell?
Cities the first time. Like you're like, I don't have any points. I have
Turns
0
out
points.
at the end,
8 rounds in,
that is not the case at all. But but while you're playing the game, when you never played before, you had no idea how it was going to play out.
Yeah,
And so
I ended with 91.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's
and I was like
possible.
in the 50s. So that's the other thing.
Ooh.
So here's why.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Here's why Ryan won. Let me tell you something. Okay?
Well, again,
It was after we hung out with those aliens. I was distracted.
It goes back to like I didn't understand like how to get points, and so kind of I assumed he was kind of going more for like placing garments in the halls and going for the majority, and I was going for this other part where it was kind of like
these decorations. I didn't really go into
decorations. So like he said, when you're buying the garments, you can choose to play it in the hall and get points, or you can get money. And like he said, there was so much money some of them would give you. And so
money.
And so in my head, I was like, okay, well, if there's so much money, and then there's these like decorations you buy that just like basically straight up give you points if you pay money and go on them, I was like, that's got to be like another strategy. Well, it turns out that is not a worthwhile strategy.
So getting money at the end of the game is money worth nothing.
10 money is 1 point.
Yeah.
There's
probably not.
So those cards though, remember I talked about the cards that you can buy? They have those powers on them. One of them makes it every $3 is worth a point. Okay. Natalie did get that card and used it.
Yeah, I got like
you got a bunch of points from that. More economically, it didn't matter as much, but more economically. So there's ways to make money.
Ways.
But no.
But yeah, so like the decoration thing is basically like if you pay $18, you can put your little token here and you can get straight up 4 points from that. And that's it.
But yeah, so you're not having to do any majority.
But then I also
get it.
I did this other thing during the income phase where I get extra money during the income phase for every one of those I go on. So I'm like, okay, that's a strategy for me. I'm going to get a bunch of money, go on these to get points, use that to get extra income.
Garments.
But it turns out that doing that alone versus doing what he did is not going to get you anywhere close.
So you can't ignore the area majority.
You cannot ignore the area majority.
That's the main thing.
So you have to play that, and then your secondary thing's got to win.
Yeah, so I should have played more. And like he didn't win all the
because that would have pulled you both to that 70 range probably or something.
You didn't win all the area majority, but you won the ones with the most points, and you won most of them.
I won 3 out of the 5 of them.
How you win?
And the one I won the one that was 4 points, 5 points, and 6 points.
Yeah, and you won the one at the top too.
Oh, right. There's 6 with that one.
So,
well, because see, I was also doing the decorations that you were doing, just not the ones that just gave you points. I was doing other ones multiplier ones. So you cannot sleep on.
Right. So for basically, in the end, it was a bummer that I chose something that turned out to like not be worthwhile doing, but I didn't know that until the end. And so while we were playing the game, I enjoyed playing this game. And I, just like Ryan said, I thought the decision making was it was cool because it was tough. It was every time, even when I didn't even have a plan, sometimes I'm like, I'm going to get this. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? Do I get the money? Do I get the thing? I don't know. And the cards were cool. Like there was situations
the cards are awesome.
Where I was like, okay, I want this bonus on this card, but I only have 3 of them, and like I want this bonus before I do this action, but it's just not going to work out that in that order that I want to, because then if I play this card and get this, and then I can't do this other action because this card won't let me do that, so it's like you gotta kind of plan that all out, which was really like fun and interesting. So, but I agree with you. It was it's true. It's a pretty medium game. It's not super heavy. It's not super light. Didn't take that long. It had some like fun, interesting things. I guess
great things in its favor.
The only
10% of the 10% is good.
For sure.
Yeah. The only real con I would say is I can see after a while, like even though there are technically 6 actions you can take on your turn, you really only take
3.
maybe like 3 of them. Like one of them's like get this and it'll let you be first player. Well, neither of us ever did that.
Which was another mistake, I think.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake.
I was first player the
or
whole
with
fucking
4
game.
people.
With 4 people, you're gonna have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You're gonna
yeah.
have to.
Yeah, but like that's one. So there was
But
like
if you're
a
just
couple
playing
actions.
with Devin, there's likely you'll do 3 actions 90% of the game.
Yeah, there's a couple actions like you might rarely use, but mostly you're doing these 3 actions, which, you're playing 7 rounds of picking basically of 3 actions, and so that kind of gets a little samey, I guess.
Yeah, you're
if
either
I
getting
had to,
resources,
Samey.
doing a
say a
garment, or getting a
con.
card.
Yeah.
That's really all
Right.
you're mostly
over
doing.
and over and over and over.
And then once in a while, you'll put a decoration one out
Right.
there. Once in a
But
while, you'll discard a card.
Besides that, I don't really have any other complaints. I enjoyed it.
I truly think you would love it.
All right.
I think this would be a game that you and Devin would
Rococo.
really enjoy. Rococo.
Chicha.
Chicha. So that's Rococo. Rococo.
Nice.
Matthias Kramer designed that one. I don't think we said before. And Eagle Griffin Games puts out the new edition. I don't think you can get the old edition anymore. I don't even know if you can get this new edition anymore. I think you can still buy it directly from Eagle Griffin's website.
Yeah, and they always, Eagle Griffin, whenever they do one of their Kickstarters, sometimes they open up their,
you
their
can.
stores, right?
So definitely when, I know the Vital Lacerda games do that. I think that you can also do that with anytime Eagle Griffin does a Kickstarter.
So just go back the On Mars expansion, and then you might get access to this.
Yeah, they will do that. Right now in the On Mars Kickstarter, it's just about the expansion, but they will always open it up.
They'll always take your money.
Whether there's a deal, I don't know. So that's again, Jeff. That's the only thing I would say against this game. If this was like just a normal like game that we bought for $40,
You should be like, go buy
I'd
it.
be like, this isn't. This is the best deal ever. Like, dude.
Maybe if I catch it on sale or something.
Yeah.
It's a geek store somewhere. Cool.
Yep. What?
Oh my god.
What?
Okay, I misread something.
Do I have to
I
stop
thought
the
Gen
recording?
Con was like canceled, but it's Grand Con.
Oh,
I was like, holy
you should have seen Natalie's face right now.
Natalie
She's
just
holding her
like
phone.
saw ghosts.
Oh my!
It looked like she looked
God.
at it and it was like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer though. Grand Con's canceled.
For 2021.
Damn,
I just
that's
read
a bummer.
before anything else. We wish to extend our gratitude, but we have to remove
thought it
the
was
show
Gen
from
Con?
this year's books due to circumstances beyond our control. I was
You're like, oh shit! That's
and they just sent out the
I like-
map of
Yeah.
the hall.
I
and-
looked
like
up
the
and
day
it said Grand
before.
Con. I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh, no offense to Grand Con. We do
Sorry,
love
Grand
Grand
Con.
Con. That's a
we
bummer.
weren't planning on going this year anyway.
So, Jeff, did you and Devin do anything that in a popular genre? Play any games like that?
What?
Something that's super popular right now?
Oh, we played something super popular.
I
Crime.
thought so. Yeah, crime.
Crime.
Time.
So I want to talk about. Do you want to talk about the game we played before?
Rude.
Oh yeah, let's do
Or
that.
do you want me?
No,
well,
go
okay.
ahead. No,
So,
go ahead. Do it.
No, 2 games before I talk about a game that we just literally played.
Just played.
So when Devin and I were in Mac and I brought a couple games. I brought the Initiative, which were about 8 or 9 in. We didn't really have the table to play the Initiative, so we borrowed this game from Joe called Unsolved Case Files.
Ooh.
Okay, and this is like maybe the most generic like cold case with
Yeah.
Jack.
and it basically so the box looks like a file folder kind of.
Okay.
And you basically open up this box and there's just like a shit ton of paperwork in it. And it's literally like it's supposed to mimic the idea that you are opening up a cold case from 20 years ago.
You're right, and there's tons of stuff you
like
gotta go through.
pictures and there's
Yeah.
interviews and there are
That's
crime
cool. I
scene
like
photos
that.
and just stuff, right? And you essentially have to like the one
Piece it
person is
together.
in jail for this crime. You have to figure out why this person didn't do it and all this stuff and then figure out who did.
Oh, so you're getting someone. Oh, okay.
And it's a cool you felt immersed in this game. And
You were a detective.
it's not like a super popular game. It's not like the
never
Unlocks
even heard
or
of it.
Chronicles of Crime. I don't know where Joe bought it, but again, it's called
called Unsolved
Unsolved Case Files. See, exactly. Unsolved Mystery. It's called Unsolved Case Files. There's a couple of them.
Harmony Ashcroft.
Yeah, Harmony Ashcroft is the one we played. So Harmony Ashcroft was murdered. You had to free this one guy, but there's like newspaper clippings, and it just it felt really
Good
like
looking. Hello, Harmony.
Harmony. So you felt really like
wanna
immersed
get
in
in
this
Harmony.
game. Like Devin and I were because we didn't really have a table, so all the paperwork was like laid out on like one of the beds, and we were just like
Oh, cool.
flipping through things and like passing stuff, and like
Wow.
oh this guy said this and this woman said this.
Holy shit,
and
the weight is a 1.
because the rules are nothing.
Okay.
Right? The rules are absolutely nothing. Then you go online and there's this website and it says like what 2 documents proves that this person did it or is lying or
Oh, it's
something.
a
And then you
website?
check. So out of the 50 things that you get in this file, you like basically check off what tells you that this person is innocent or what tells you the person. That was like really finicky and kind of weird.
yeah.
But just the process of kind of flipping through these like
That
what
sounds
felt like a
fun.
real
Yeah,
case
that
was
sounds
kind
fun.
of cool. So we played it once, so we're done. Joe's probably finished with it. I can bring it over and just leave it with you guys.
That'd be cool. I would like. I know Natalie
Devin and I
like that.
took some hints. We took some hints because the app's kind of a little. You just go online, but it's a little weird. But just the experience.
We
was
played an
pretty cool.
unlock one time where we took a hint for every single clue, so we don't have a problem taking hints.
Yeah, so it was cool to just kind of like immerse ourselves in that. So that was really neat. Another game I want to talk about really quick. I gave to Dave and his wife Terry, and he played it with his kids, called Andor. You know, Legends of Andor.
Yeah. The younger version.
This is the family-friendly game, or family fantasy game is what it's called. So he took my nephews, his sons, up to our family cottage, and he broke it out and played it and said the kids loved it. So I just wanted to make mention of it, but because I wasn't going to sit down and play it with Devin, right? I got the game so Dave could play it with the boys.
Is it still Michael Menzel?
No, this one is the brand family.
The brand.
Yeah.
But he did do the art.
Yeah. So Inca and Marcus did this, and I think they originally had Andor Jr., and I think they changed the name, rebranded it a little bit. No pun intended with the brand. But I was really interested to see what my nephews thought of it because it fit into a theme that they would really like. This fantasy, it wasn't. Sometimes these kids
Fantasy
games
merchants.
are like, oh, it's a child's game, right? Oh, here's a bird and you have to catch cherries. Okay, that's dumb,
kids,
right? This felt like a little more grown up, but with
still geared
kid
towards
mechanics,
kids. Yeah.
right? Of just set collecting, walking around a map and picking things up, and it was very cool, and they really enjoyed it.
Did they?
Dave sent me some pictures of them all kind of standing up, looking at it, and I don't believe they were staged, so that was good. And what it's cool, it's it comes with a bunch of cards, and you basically set out this timeline of cards, and you basically have to do the things in order to then free the wolves from the pack of whatever. But you can set the game to only be 2 cards and only do 2 of these little missions, or you can do 4 of these little missions, and just kind of set the length of it and set the difficulty.
I wish I could set the length of it.
Yeah, you don't. You just
Damn it.
turn a lever somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're looking for kind of a family game that's not a HABA game, I would say anybody 6+ could play this game. You would also probably want to play it. Dave said that they've played. What's the game that with not Mice and Mystics, but the other
Stuffed Fables.
Stuffed Fables, or the other one that you had that he was
Aftermath?
He was playing Aftermath, and some of the decisions in that are a little tougher.
Oh, so he does have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of the decisions in that were a little tougher, right? Of Brian, who's 6'7", it's tough to make some of those decisions or to think in the big picture.
Understand how that
he
will
was
impact
making.
something.
He knew what he was doing in this game, and I thought that's a check in its favor, right? If you're 7 to 9 and you can make the decision in this game,
that's cool.
He has
cool.
played and beaten Hollow Knight. Did you know that?
Christopher beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
You were talking about Brian just now?
Yeah,
Okay.
but still.
Yeah, holy hand grenade. Christopher.
They're
Well, they're Madigans.
Yeah,
What are you going to say?
the Madigan family, not me, is good at video games.
You're good at everything.
So anyway, that's Andor, the family fantasy
cool.
game, if you're interested in that. And let's talk about a game we just played.
Just
Minutes
played.
ago.
Play.
Right after
Right
the
after we
champagne.
Every game is a game we played minutes ago.
Every picture of you in the past.
Yeah, when you were younger.
So we played a game called Crash Octopus. And Crash Octopus is by Iten Games. Iten.
How do you spell that?
Itten.
Okay.
That is the
Itten.
same company that makes Tokyo Highway. If you ever played Tokyo Highway, or you've seen those gigantic, the display at Gen Con with the huge popsicle
Which is not
sticks,
canceled.
Which is not canceled. It's like the popsicle sticks in the cars, and you're balancing them in there. And I saw this game on Kickstarter. It was advertised as a pretty cool looking dexterity game, and I was in, right? I like dexterity games. They're
backed
just kind of
this?
fun. I backed this on Kickstarter.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So it showed up recently, and I was really kind of pumped to play it. So what you do is you start and you lay out this string that ends up just being a circle, right? So you have this circle that's now the play area. Think of, for some reason when I laid it out, I felt like a sumo wrestler. For some reason, it's like a circle.
Yeah.
So that created your play area, and you take these cool octopus pieces, the head, and then all the tentacles, and you
It's so
stick
cool.
them
They're
in the middle.
coming out of the water. So
Yeah,
the
they're
table is like
Yeah.
think of the table surface as the sea
Surface
level.
of the water.
Yeah.
Like sea level. And then you see the very top dome of the octopus's head and the very tips of the 8 tentacles.
They're,
They're
think
coming
think
out of the
that.
water. So it's cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then, no, that's good. That's a good way to describe it. And then we have our boats that are near us. So we have a boat, and we also have a flag and an anchor. And Ryan started by taking all of these like treasures. So there's 5 different pieces and a few of each, and you basically shake them up and you drop them onto the octopus head, and it hits the head, and all these pieces basically fill up that circle.
That is the coolest
Which was just a cool thing.
And it actually worked out like pretty evenly.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
They were like dispersed like perfectly.
Yeah, you think like, oh god, this is gonna shoot.
Yeah,
all
they're
one
all
way.
going to go to
Dumb.
one person.
Yeah.
No, it was like
or they're all just gonna stay in the middle. Like
it was. That was a
Yeah,
That's one
so
of those,
you drop
like,
it off. These
oh,
the
man.
treasures are goofy. They're like shaped like a little meeple. There's one that's a cube and one that's whatever. So
like a log.
And all you're doing on your turn is one of 2 things. You are either taking your small little flag and you are flicking your anchor to a new position on the board or in the sea, or you are trying to flick one of the treasures that are in the circle to hit your boat. So if that treasure hits your boat, you load it onto your boat, and you keep doing that until someone has collected all 5 of the treasures or the game runs out. But every once in a while, as the game progresses, there's this little timer, and it hits this point where the octopus attacks, essentially. And everybody takes a die and drops it on the octopus head, and then the die shoots in different directions based on where you might try to drop it, or goes in a direction you didn't want it to go to. And if it hits somebody else's boat and knocks treasure off, too bad, you got attacked by an octopus. Or hits your own boat like mine, or it doesn't do anything, and then it ends up, if it doesn't do anything, it moves the pieces around. So then the tentacles move, or the head moves around, and it kind of changes the layout of the board. And do you guys want to start? That's the game. You play until you collect all the treasures.
Go ahead, Natalie.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Fucking
fun.
hated this
No,
shit.
I thought it was fun. I mean, it was just like a little flicking short game, and I honestly would buy this game to just like, play as like a filler game, and it was entertaining. It was fun flicking the pieces, all of the like wooden pieces of the octopus, and even like the boats and the little crab that tracks the timer were really cute and fun.
They were cute.
And it was fun. I don't know, like flicking it, and sometimes we would miss, or sometimes something would fall off, and even just the fact that when you attacked, that we all 3 took a turn, and it kind of like changed up the board. You could sometimes get blocked, like let's say like I was going for this last piece and then I would win, and then you get blocked by a tentacle or by another person's boat or whatever. It was just like a fun little game. I don't know.
Just a fun little tagline on the box.
Yeah.
Put on the box.
It's a fun
It
little
was just
game.
a fun little game.
In a monotone voice.
It was just a fun
Ryan, what did you
game.
think?
I really enjoyed this game. More so than Natalie.
Yeah.
Whatever Natalie liked about it, I liked it +1.
Well, it's funny because like I liked it, but
Well, there's
I
not
don't know.
like
It's
depth
like kind
to
of a
it.
nothing
I know.
game, so
Yeah.
it's like hard to be like, this game was amazing.
Well,
You know
listen
what
to
I
me.
mean?
I'm about to do that. I really enjoyed this game. This was, I saw pictures of this last time. Jeff, we were going to play it last episode, and we didn't get to do it. But when I looked at the pictures of the game, I got instantly excited. It looks so cool on the table. This is one of those games, if you're at a convention or anywhere and you see somebody playing this, you want to stop and be like, what is that?
Yeah. Yes. It's
Because
eye-grabbing.
dexterity games have that kind of inherently built into them, because there's pieces moving around the table, and that's just fun to look at. What's so cool about this game is everything. Let's start with the first thing, the first part of everything. You have this little flag that Jeff talked about. It's one of the components. That's also the thing you're using to flick with.
Yeah.
And how
was
cool
very
is
impressed.
that? Well, I watched Jeff flick it. You know what it reminded me of? Like when a dog comes in a doggy door and how the flat, like,
Yeah.
that's what it looked like when Jeff was like flicking the thing. And I'm like, I want to do that. I just want to do that. He's like, don't worry, man, you will. You got your own. I was like, oh, cool. And so you're flicking stuff around this, like he said, this rope that's in the middle, just to try to get stuff to either hit your boat or you're moving your boat. And it is just really fun. And there's these 5 different resources that you have to get onto your boat. I'm just re-explaining the game at this point.
That's good.
It is so... I really enjoyed that aspect of it, because when you drop all the components at the beginning of the game, you have to map out in your head, like, okay, which ones do I want to go for? You can't ever flick the one that's closest to your boat, which makes
It's a great rule.
Makes it perfectly, because otherwise you could just be like, boop, 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 I got him.
Right, just
It's
like
a
go
great
real
rule.
close to one.
It's
and
a
then,
great rule. It doesn't feel tacked on or bullshit.
No.
It's a really good rule. I really enjoyed the flicking, obviously, because that's just fun to flick shit around. But with that flag, it even increased it another bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
The components are all so cool looking. That octopus is like really awesome. And when you drop the die on it, it creates this tension that you didn't really realize you were going to feel in this game. Because it just seems like Natalie said, like a nothing game of just, it's just fun, like goofy little game. But it does create some stress in it when you have 4 of the 5 components you need and your other competitors don't. And so now there's a little bit of a target on your back and they're trying to drop the die onto this octopus so it might
Angle
hit you.
it just right.
And if it happens to hit your boat and everything falls off, you're now back at ground at 0 and you're like screwed. Right?
Or even like one time you have to get something on your boat, you have to have it hit your boat first by flicking it. And so one time I did that and it knocked something else off my boat. And I'm like, damn
you're
it.
screwed.
And they're all kind of weird shapes, so you're kind of balancing them on this boat.
it's like
the
an
boat's
animal
not
upon
huge
animal
enough
type
to
of
like
situation.
hold it all easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to like flick the components with the flag, which is awesome, hard enough that it's going to make it to your boat to touch the boat because you could whiff it easily.
Like I did.
Like Jeff did. Yeah. What did happen?
I hit it like an inch.
Yeah.
It like, didn't go anywhere.
It's hilarious. But if you hit it too hard, it's going to knock shit that's already on your boat off your boat. And then you're not anywhere, you're like worse off than you started. Yeah. So there's a little bit of stress points there. And I thought it was a really, really good game. I think that I would also buy this game. It says 7+. I think that's a good.
Really?
Yep. I think that's a good
cool.
thing.
That's a plus.
I think my
its
kids
favor.
would love this game. I think they would.
Yeah.
It's so inviting looking. I think they would just go crazy.
I'll leave it.
until
Lexi wins.
Lexi wins
until
and
somebody
the shit
sucks
falls
at
off
it
of
and
Cameron's
somebody's
boat.
great at it and then they get
Yeah.
upset.
All right. Well, maybe I won't leave it. I'll bring it home.
They would.
Yeah.
They would love this game. I almost think that maybe this is a game we should pick up.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I agree.
That I thought it was great. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I had a blast. It was just fun. It's, I always like what draws me to games is, when moving around the table, right? I had to like go up and move to the other side of the table to try to flick this cube toward my boat. I thought that's cool because you could probably just play it sitting there but I don't want to do that. I want to get up. I want to
get up.
experience the flag
Yeah.
flicking fun. The game also
flicking
comes
fun.
with a couple like
FFF.
it says like mini games, so you could play by yourself if you want to. Like, it's like practice if you want to practice.
Yeah.
flipping this thing around. Set it up. If you get the Kickstarter edition, I don't know what the retail one looks like, but there's a lot of little expansions or like a little island to add to the play area and just some other kind of stuff that you can keep adding to the game to sort of make it
Yeah, I'm curious about the expansion.
different.
This guy designed Nice Egg.
Oh, really?
Do you remember Nice Egg from Board Gamer Bullshit?
Yeah. I do.
This guy designed that.
Man,
Yeah.
game.
His name is Naotaka Shimamoto.
Okay.
He
Crash
also designed,
Octopus.
like you said earlier, he designed Tokyo Highway.
Okay.
And Moonbase. Remember Moonbase?
Oh, Moonbase is a cool. That's like a cool abstract.
Yeah. Yep, he designed that
Those
as well.
rings and
That's a good game, man.
yeah. So yeah, that Crash Octopus, it was fun.
It was fun.
If you like those type of games or want a good, like Natalie said, a good maybe filler in between games, something to just play at the end of the night or play with family. That's fun.
Definite
It
good
was
family
fun.
weight game. I really think the
Yeah.
kids would like it. I'm
Yeah.
going to try to talk you into leaving it here for just maybe
I'll leave
a
it.
week or so.
Yeah.
So I would like to talk to you all for a moment about the Gateway Board Gaming Network, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com. This is always the point of the show where Natalie and or Jeff goes to the bathroom, so you will not hear them on the microphones for a little bit. The sole purpose of the network
It's Natalie.
is to help new or up-and-coming content creators grow by shouting each other out. If you go to the Gateway Network website, you will find other amazing content creators who are trying to grow as well. They are all amazing people who produce fantastic content. It's very exciting due also in large part to our merch store. Yes, we have a merch store, which you can find at www.thegatewaynetwork.com/merch. There you can find so many amazing items from a large portion of our members. Want to get a whatboardgame.com enamel pin? Go somewhere else, Jack. We don't carry those. Today, I'd like to specifically highlight Jim Gamer and whatboardgame.com. If you don't know who Jim is by now, you are a worthless nothing who knows nothing about nothing. Jim runs an incredibly successful Instagram page and a significantly less successful board gaming website called whatboardgame.com. The only worthwhile thing on that site is the interview with me back when it first went live and any and all references to me that might appear anywhere else on the site, whatboardgame.com. More seriously, but still not that seriously, Jim is an extremely hardworking, passionate guy who really sinks his teeth into human flesh any chance he gets. But when he's not devouring the souls of the weak, he's creating board game content. The website, whatboardgame.com, has reviews, interviews, discussion forums, and just a bevy of content to wet your whistle before moving on to the next content creator at thegatewaynetwork.com. Jim is an awesome guy who says terrible things about us, but hey, we literally ask for it, so who can we blame? Him? Yeah,
Yeah.
we can. Me and Jeff can. Head on over to whatboardgame.com for the latest interview, or look up Jim Gamer on Instagram and participate in Mechanics Monday. The guy is just constantly doing things to bring the community together, and we love him for that. Keep up the good work, you son of a bitch. Whatever kind of content you're looking for, the Gateway will have it. If you're a newer board game content creator and you're looking for a way to grow your content, please consider heading over to thegatewaynetwork.com to learn more. If you ever wanted to support the show but weren't quite sure how to do it, maybe consider flushing your money down the Gamecasters toilet by way of our Patreon page. There are 4 different tiers which will get you access to behind-the-scenes content, exclusive content, content ahead of time. You will also get swag that nobody else has access to, and just the opportunity to help out and support a podcast which you sometimes listen to. We have amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for your support. If you'd like to donate to help us pay for things like hosting fees and that 69th circumcision Jeff has had his eye on, please head on over to patreon.com/the Gamecasters to help out. So here we are again for another installment of the Gamecasters Essentials. The idea behind this segment is these are games that all 3 of us unanimously agree are likely good for most everyone. That's not to say everyone will love them, but these are games that, if you don't have a collection, would be pretty safe bets to purchase sight unseen. We have 4 essential games already, which are Bonanza, The Castles of Burgundy, Strike, and Just One. And before I get to the 5th entry in our Gamecasters Essentials line, I wanted to let you know that if you head on over to the Gamecasters Instagram page or the Mad Board Gamer Instagram page, you will find a giveaway that we're doing that runs until this Thursday, July 22nd, 2021, for you future listeners trying to get some games, where we're giving a lucky winner the 3 small box games currently in our Essentials lineup. Yes, you can win a new copy of Strike, Bonanza, and Just One by heading over to our Instagram pages. We're going to announce the winner on the Gamecasters Twitch stream on Thursday, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. So if you don't follow the Gamecasters on Twitch, please go follow us there. You do not have to be present to win, but it certainly would be cool. Now, on to the 5th game to reach the upper echelons of Gamecasters fandom. That's right, the next installment in our Gamecasters Essentials is The Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Yay!
Yeah.
Why does Quacks make our Essentials list? The game has a certain passion to it. Everything about the game is just inherent fun. Once again, I'm going to reference the Shut Up and Sit Down review of this because it describes the game perfectly.
So
in that review, they show a graph, and it looks kind of like a U, okay? At the left is pure joy and elation and laughter and fun. And at the right is anger and hatred and frustration and rage. There is no middle ground. You either experience the biggest and best high or the lowest and most terrible dread. And I used to question how I felt about the game because of that. But I've slowly learned to realize that that is what makes this game essential. That visceral emotion that exists in so few games. Crokinole has that as well. It makes me feel that way, which is another game that could maybe appear here someday. But most games only exist in the middle of that U. But this game is the most extreme game I may have ever played. And because of that, everybody needs to play it. The feeling of getting lucky and pulling everything out of your bag in the right order to get so many points and so much money to spend on more stuff is just one of the best things ever in gaming, which is contrasted starkly by the feeling of literally pulling out 4 cherry bombs in a row on the first 4 pulls of a round and you explode while you have to sit there and pretend you don't want to punch every other motherfucker who is still in the round right in the nose. It's the worst. You see everyone else having so much fun while you're sitting there done for the round, and on top of that, you can only get money or points. And neither of them are high, and everything's the worst. But oh my god, next round is up, and anything could happen. Your feelings change from one to the other multiple times, and by the end of it, you're exhausted and usually laughing. Or looking for a match to burn it. Anyway, once again, this is the exact reason why the game deserves a spot on this list. What do you guys have to say about Gamecasters Essential number 5, The Quacks of Quedlinburg?
Tangly tangly.
I think everyone knows I love this game.
Everyone knows.
I'm in love with this game.
If you don't, you do now.
It is one of my favorite games ever. I think it's one of the games kind of like Castle Burgundy where I will always want to play this game. I historically did not like push your luck games, and when I first played this, we were going to play this at a Nerd Fest, and Ryan's like, oh, I don't know if you're going to like it. It's push your luck, and we played it, and I was like, that was so awesome.
Yeah.
And every other time we've played it, which is honestly more than most games, because we usually play games like once, maybe twice. So like I played
Very
this
high replay
at least a
value.
handful of times, and I've loved every time I played it. And then another thing that made me think that this is a really good Essentials game is that we introduced this to my sister and Kyle, her husband, and they're like, and it was a while back, so like I'd say like now they're like starting to like become like lower level gamers, but like back then they weren't really, and like they both loved it, and then they bought it, and then they even brought it to a friend's house who didn't really play games, and they loved it too. So
And
that
Frankie bought, they weren't the Geek Up bits, but she bought,
like coin.
I think she went on Etsy, and
Okay,
not the
sometimes
coin
they're
thing. I think she went on
like
Etsy
coin
and bought like
holders,
3D printed
yeah, so like
versions.
for somebody who doesn't have a lot of game collection and they're not really gamers, to like a game like this that much, that just shows you what a wide audience would probably enjoy this game, basically.
For sure. What
Yes.
about you?
Yes. So
Moving on.
yeah, let's move on. Welcome to the Instagram inbox. Oh wait, no. So
Not there yet.
the first time we played this game, Natalie mentioned it. It was at a Nerd Fest, and I don't think Ryan played with us.
No, it was.
I think it was
the
just
three of you.
me,
And
Dave, and Natalie
Yeah.
played.
Oh, okay.
and
I was into something else.
and I think we were just having so much fun.
Yeah.
And I think it caught people's attention, right? Where we were like pulling things out and like, no, or yes, or should I keep going? Like
Yeah.
that is so fun. The emotion in this game is just like the swinginess is so intense and fun. And
Do you wish you could have that first time back?
yeah.
Like, was it like, oh my God, this is, because you didn't expect it to be that good.
I know, because I bought it, right? It was like, I don't know if it was nominated for something that
Yeah, it
year.
was the
came up.
Kennerspiel, I think.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I want to get this game. I remember seeing it at RAW and telling like Joel about it, and Joel was like, doesn't even sound like a real fucking game. He was like, I'm like, this is a real game, man. I'm like, this is a good one. And now it's
Joe
like one of
probably
our
likes it more
favorites.
than anyone else.
Yeah, now it's like one of our
He, like,
favorites.
3D
But
prints
he was like, no way.
boxes for
We
it.
joke about that all the time where he's like, I don't even know if I believed you when you saw Quacks at Quedlinburg was a game. But
It is a weird name.
and like Natalie said, you introduce it to people and they want to play it again. They want to buy it. They want to introduce it. And as we add these essentials into the Gamecasters essentials, there will be gamers games that go in this thing. But
Yeah.
again, like I'm kind of thinking of if you have 0 games, none.
Yeah. Get
These are good
And you
ones
need
that
something-
are gonna, because
somewhere
if
to
you have
start.
0 games, your
Yeah.
friends probably don't play games.
Yeah,
you
you're
don't have a
probably-
game group,
Yep.
but this is your way to start introducing people to games, right? So
Yeah.
your first game might be Castles of Burgundy, and you
Yeah.
play that heavy type of game, but your friends all don't want to play that. But your friends
Yeah.
want to reach into a bag and pull something out, and that
Yeah.
excitement. And we've also played a lot of times before where every round we just pull out at the same time, right? And
Yeah.
we like show each other
Yeah.
just because that
Right.
excitement of like
Yeah.
opening
What's it
yours
gonna be?
and yours sucks and everybody else's is good and everybody else celebrates and you're like, well, fuck you guys.
Yep.
And you just get so
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
About like non-gamers, because like this isn't a game where like you have to like have a strategy and kind of know what you're doing. Like
Go.
it's random.
Yeah,
You know,
you
like
just
you
go.
don't have to make a decision.
But at the same time,
you just
depending on what you buy, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
strategize that.
You can find
way
cool
so
You're right.
combos. Yeah.
No, you're totally right about that. That's where the strategy part is. But like when you're pulling stuff out, that's just you just get what you
Yep.
get.
And you don't throw a fit.
And you don't throw a
Don't
fit.
throw a
you
Unless
know?
you're me.
But you do. You throw a fit.
You throw a
Yeah.
fucking fit. You
Natalie
rage
also
quit.
really likes this game because she's so fucking good at it.
Yeah, she is.
For
the
some
last
reason-
time she played, it was the only time ever that she was like, "Oh, wait, you can blow up in this game."
Yeah.
I know I don't usually.
Natalie
bust,
can like
but I
feel
did.
colors and she like reaches into the bag.
Yep.
And goes, well, no, that one's white. That one's white.
Yep. Not doing
Red.
that.
And she pulls it. She's so
That's
good
the
at
white
it.
3.
Which makes me think like maybe she wants to start playing some pressure luck games.
I know.
But
she typically hates
this
it.
is
You
a
hear her
great
laugh
one.
Like, no.
I love this game, and a memory that we have of this is before I even got the expansion at Gen Con, we like sped walk
Yep.
to the booth to
get the
buy the
bits.
expansion bits because I wanted those bits
Oh,
before I
yeah,
got the
that's
expansion
right.
so we could play with it. It's just it's a great game, and the Geek Up bits are almost necessary at this point.
And
Or
they're usually
upgrading
always
somehow.
sold out. That's how popular
Yeah,
this game
upgrading somehow. Some people have bought those like they're like dime or penny cases, and then
Yeah,
they
I think the
people have had
Beagles
really good
bought
luck with
those.
that, which is great. So
Yep.
I would find your hands on
Probably
this
cheaper
game
that
and
way.
just
Yeah.
it's so fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's
buy
not
it.
cheap.
It's
Just
a
go
great
into
game.
it knowing like you're gonna blow up. You're gonna go from angry. Don't try to like win. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
fun with the
it's
game.
just a fun experience.
Yeah, the experience is a blast.
Yep. That is
Good
awesome.
essential.
It's now the time of the show where I get to deflate and then I inflate Jeff And Natalie watches in horror. Stick around for this episode's Instagram inbox.
And now it's time for the Instagram inbox with the Mad Board Gamer.
Welcome to the inbox. I'm the Mad Board Gamer, and here we are with another Instagram inbox segment. I should write this out. I should write the intro.
No, it's funnier this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went on Instagram and posted a story and asked people to create a tagline for a board game that you hate.
Oh, I like this.
We've done this in the past once. I got some funny responses, so
I
I
like
wanted
this.
to keep it light and fresh with some... Why is
Keep
Natalie
it
looking at me
fresh.
like this?
I don't know.
I don't.
What are you doing with your hand?
That's why I thought she was like...
I think the phone was going
She was
to
like-
go up to her hand like she's going to use the fork.
I thought she
just
had
set it
something for
down
me.
and I don't know why.
I thought she had something for me. That's why I was waiting.
Your face was stuck too at Jeff. You were like, she was like,
Okay.
I want to take a
like,
picture.
oh,
I
boy.
want to take a picture right now.
I drink a lot of mimosa.
Just do exactly
Drink
what you were
a
doing.
lot
I don't even
mimosa.
know what I was doing.
You had your hand over the table, and
then
your
you
face
look
was
at me
looking
like
like, yeah, kind of weird. But
Like you were about to say something to me.
yeah, at Jeff. Your mouth
No.
is kind of open.
You were more like Smiley.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Damn it.
I'll take a picture.
I was going to show people on Instagram.
I don't know.
Instagram.
I don't even know what I was
The
doing.
Instagram man back.
Are we
Instagram
gonna guess
inbox.
what the game is, or
No. I don't think so. Maybe next time we'll do like a poorly explained game. We'll try to play that sort of game again. But this is
That was hard.
that was?
think of a game
We
you
did
hate,
very
create
bad.
a tagline for it because I wanted to, sometimes getting anger out helps.
It's also always funny.
Yeah. So we'll start with Sons of Thunder Games.
I like them.
This is Nathan over there.
What's up, Nathan?
He has the tagline for Red Rising. Red Rising blows balls.
Wait, that's not the normal title?
He hates
I thought that
that
was the...
Yeah,
under
he
the
doesn't
little
like
tagline.
that
Oh, he doesn't like
no,
it,
he
huh?
hates it.
I haven't heard much
He also
things about
hates. I think he hates the crew. I think that's him too. Not liking the crew very much. But I think the hatred for Red
That's a hot
Rising is
take.
different because I
Wait.
think he understands maybe the crew is a good game, but just doesn't.
Got
just
it.
hates
Okay.
I don't know. maybe.
Rising the book one.
that. No,
Yes, the book.
That's the Stegmeyer one.
Yeah, but it's a book.
What's the
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah, it's a
sorry.
book.
Based on the book. The
Yeah.
game isn't a book. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's based on the book.
with
right.
all the colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Better half reviews dropped a few. Better half reviews
Dropped
always
a
give me
few
some good
deuces.
ones. This is a tagline for Micro Macro. You know Micro Macro?
Love that game.
Micro Macro.
Yes.
Glorified Where's Waldo, but without the color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can't argue with that. 'cause it's
Yeah,
true.
that's
That's
it.
black and white.
I mean, there's a story element to it. So. Yeah.
Okay, what about here for better half reviews? Wingspan.
Okay.
Everyone obviously wants to be an ornithologist.
Ornithologist.
Everybody wants to be an ornithologist, so here's your chance to stare at some birds.
A hornythologist.
A ornithologist.
Without going outside.
Yeah, without going outside. Also sent me one. They don't hate this game Chai, but they created a good one for it.
Okay.
You know the game
Yeah,
Chai.
about coffee.
Yeah.
Man, there's like a Chai
Chai
tea,
tea
for
for
two. There's
two.
like another one. Yep. A game so
Tea
chill,
for two.
so calming, it will put you to sleep. That's a good one. Miss French Toast, Sam.
Yeah,
over
what
in the
up,
Yoop.
girl?
She said Flux.
Youper.
What the fuck is going on?
What? Oh, it should have been flux.
flux
What
is
the
going
fuck?
Flux is going on?
What the fucks?
So that game is true because you're just like playing and you're like, well, did
Yeah.
I win yet? Did I win yet?
Oh, the rules change 100 times. Oh.
Yeah. So I didn't win.
Fucks.
Yeah, fucks.
Fucks in the forest.
Fucks.
Is that
What
why
the
it's called
fucks is
flux?
going on?
Because the rules fluctuate.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
You did it.
You're drunk.
Board game
I drank,
snobs.
like, most of a bottle of
This is
champagne.
Gabi. Gabi. So there's a game called Star Trek Conflict in the Neutral. So that's the whole game title.
Oh, there's one of those that
Okay.
they
Yeah.
hate so
Probably
I think
this
it's that
one.
one. If you ever wanted to flick a turd,
Oh, yeah,
here's your
conflict.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you ever wanted to flick a turd, here's your chance.
Click a turd.
I don't
Yeah.
think it'd go very far.
It's not an actual
Your finger would
turd.
just go through it.
Yeah. All right, a game that we all love, but
Ew.
creates some anxious moments. Six Nimit.
Yeah.
You guys love Six Nimit?
Yeah, I do.
Good. Make a plan and watch everyone else fuck it up,
Yeah.
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 which is
Yep.
much.
That's
True.
perfect for
Yeah.
that game. That's perfect.
Trivia Geek.
Wait, who
Car-
said that?
Yeah, who said that?
That was Family Meeple.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, great. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Family Meeple. Trivia Geek. Cards Against Humanity. Vulgarity for vulgarity's sake.
Yep,
Yep,
true.
pretty
Which is just-
much,
yep.
yeah.
It gets old, right?
It's just
Yeah.
gratuitous shock
And you're just
humor.
like,
Right.
okay. And once
it's
you go
like-
through it, it's kind of done.
It is funny when you first said.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was a big like champion of this game where everyone hated it. And I was like, come on, just laugh. Now I'm just like, yeah, I would never want to play this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, it just
Well-
keeps. Like, we get
It's
it.
Once
like we
you
get it.
know
Yeah.
the cards and the shock value's gone, it's not.
Yeah,
as fun.
two midgets shitting into a bucket is always going to win.
Yeah.
But the first time you see that on a card,
Yeah,
you're like,
oh
whoa.
my god, you think about
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
But then the 10th time you see it, you're like, okay.
yeah,
like, yeah,
it's
that's
funny. We know
normal
it's going to win.
Yep. Haskell Jr. says, Azul, look at something pretty while hating your friends. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mr. Measles, Pandemic Rapid Response.
Okay,
Okay.
we played this.
Yep.
Yeah. King Klinkle.
This one is fuck you in the form of a sand timer. That's a good one.
That's good. Yeah,
We
that's
got
good.
Bulls and Boards.
All right.
Has a tagline for Through the Ages.
Okay.
Just move the colored cubes back and forth for 4 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good.
Yep.
Zadi Plays Games
fun.
came up with another one for Wingspan
Zadi the hottie.
because watching real birds just wasn't quite boring enough.
All the fun of 17th century fun.
Yeah.
All the fun of watching birds.
That's
Yep.
hilarious.
Swoozle.
Yeah, what a
Gave
boy.
one for Munchkin, which is not a favorite around
That's a bad
here.
one.
2 minutes of fun, 2 hours of wanting to die.
Yeah. Yes.
That's funny.
Yes.
Swoozle gave another one for Monopoly. Hey, look, 1,000 different rethemes of shit in a box.
There are so many.
Yeah, there's a million.
rethemes.
Yep.
They leaned into that one.
I had a Detroitopoly.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's
it was
stupid.
pretty cool, but not the game.
Pretty
just the stuff
cool.
in it.
Not the game.
Just the references.
Did it have like the arm, the fist? Was that?
I
like
think so. Like
that
a
was one of the
spot.
things? Spirit of Detroit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Spirited Away.
All right. Jim Gamer poses this tagline as a question.
Here we go.
Want to pretend you're a gamer but alienate the rest of us? Play Munchkin.
Yeah.
Another one. Bobo coming in.
Sweet.
Bobo, the first
GM.
time. Bobo the GM. The first time here on the inbox.
Wow,
Beautiful.
Bobo, did you just get an Instagram?
Hey, Bobo.
I-
He did. He
yeah.
did. To do something. Maybe it was a
To
contest
follow
thing.
us.
There was a reason that he just did it.
He wants to win our giveaway.
Yeah, that's
He did
right.
enter,
Win the
I
giveaway. He
think,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, he sure did.
All right.
Bobo
This
the
is
GM.
This is for Scythe, which I think I agree with.
Okay.
Scythe. Gather your men, build your armies, and do nothing with them.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Totally.
We have Never Bored of Gaming.
Okay.
Has Dead of Winter.
Okay.
The game where every time you roll a die, you just die.
It's always that damn fang or
I know.
whatever it
It's
is.
always, yeah, it's
every
like
time.
is it a tooth or no? It's like a skull. The tooth I think hurts you
the
or something.
fang hurts you and the skull just kills you.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're right. It's always bad.
it's always bad.
Where in Small World, you're always rolling the blank. And in Dead of Winter,
Yeah.
you're always rolling the non-blank.
Yeah, you're always rolling something that's going to kill you.
Uh-huh.
CP Wilson, Chris over there gave me one for a game called Killer Bunnies and the Quest for the Magical Carrot.
Yeah, that's another card game.
Okay. He says, waste an entire night trying to gain carrots for no reason.
Right. I'm shocked that anyone would even ever buy that stupid thing. Like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
looks
I've heard
so
of that
dumb.
game, but I don't really know anything
Yeah.
about it.
Okay, this one, maybe you can guess this one.
Okay.
I'll try to make you guess this one.
Okay.
So this one says, if you're lucky, you'll bathe with a monkey. If not, enjoy not finish a painting, not getting the food you want, or maybe some crappy souvenir. You might need to be a Zen master to love this game. Do you know this game?
No.
It's got beautiful art, a nice
Stuck
white
on
board.
bathing with a monkey.
Yeah, you might. If you're lucky,
A white
you'll
board.
bathe with a monkey. If not, you might enjoy not finishing a painting or not getting the food you want or getting some crappy souvenir.
A souvenir. I should probably know it, but I don't know it.
This game is Takedo. As you move along that path and get nothing
You know what's
that
funny?
you ever
I haven't
want.
ever actually played Takedo.
Okay. Yeah, you get nothing that you really want and
But
you
I
just
should
settle
know
for
that.
everything else.
Yeah, okay. That's funny.
Emotional Cyborg, Janelle had a hard time coming up with stuff. She's like, I'm not great at these tagline things.
Okay.
But she came up with one for Fossilis that she just played.
Okay.
And you guys have played Fossilis, so you
Yeah.
might have told me this is. So Fossilis, where a rib is more valuable than a T-Rex.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you've played that.
Yeah, there's these resources that you're trying to dig from. Don't you have Fossilis too?
I have it. I have not played it.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm sending that one to a fat guy eating burritos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
One day, maybe
Yep.
next year.
Yep.
Yeah, in the next. Yeah, you don't have a great track record of sending.
Nope.
Well, you did it with the big one you did.
I
but-
did that quickly.
Yeah.
The last one's no. No.
Yeah, I think that's
All
it.
the
That's all I
ones
got.
Is Sam
Yeah.
still waiting on her?
Yeah, she's still waiting on that one game.
On the book. No.
That's it. That's what we got. Some taglines for
Very
some
good.
games. Yeah.
Very good. That's awesome stuff. It has been a long time since we've just put the hurt on a game.
Yeah, the hurt.
Like all these games have just had it too good for too long. Well, here at the Gamecasters, we can't abide that. So what do? We beat them
Games.
down.
Beat that game.
He gave you number one. 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 He gave you number one.
Well, it's back for episode 69.
Yay.
I decided to beat down the 69 ranked game on BGG.
You almost said that right,
Ooh.
too. Very good.
Number 69 ranked game on BGG,
69th.
baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that game is
Beat that game.
Teotihuacan.
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 What
How
they
did
said.
how did Gamey Lannister pronounce it? It's like Teotihuacan.
Yeah.
Jerry from Board Games Sounds says it a really
He
funny way,
mispronounces
too.
every game he
Everything.
ever plays.
He mispronounces
Yeah.
everything.
But his
And
is like
person he's
I
ever
was like,
met and-
when he says
I was trying to cross
Teotihuacan,
the
it almost
road.
sounds like it hurts. Like the way he says it.
Teotihuacan. Just call it Teotihuacan.
Yep.
Simple.
Let's go with
Yeah.
that.
Might not even be right, but that sounds the best.
Alrighty.
Okay, so Teotihuacan is the
So we're going to beat
69th
down the
ranked game.
Beat it down.
69th ranked game.
Let's beat off the 69th ranked
Gonna
game.
beat it
Get over
down
here,
to
Jade.
the
I'm going to
ground.
beat you off.
If you have never listened to the board game Beatdown, we haven't done it in a while.
Yes.
Natalie, how does it work? What do we do?
Well, how it works is I go on Board Game Geek. I look at people's comments for the lowest rated numbers. I usually look
rating.
like the ratings of
The
1s, 2s,
lowest
and 3s
rating.
in the comments and look for ones that are really mean and maybe kind of funny.
And if you are a fan of Being Friends Official, you can see them rip off our idea
Yep.
on their YouTube
This
channel.
is the original board game beatdown. Welcome back. Yeah, if
think
you'd
you're
like a
number one?
knockoff of
Welcome back. Go listen to
it,
Being
head over to those
Friends.
bearded people over at
No, that's hilarious. Okay, what do
All
we got?
right,
What do we got?
so Teotihuacan.
Teotihuacan.
Our first one from Roman 217 says, "It is such a shame of Euro style game.
It's like
like
is
a
that a
poem.
haiku?
It's such a shame of your
Is
style.
that
I cannot
like a
feel the
haiku?
theme and I cannot find out any fun factors here. Why should I check all the things and why there's so many points ways? The most fiddly game I've ever played.
No fun factors.
Oh,
How
this-
many fun factors do games
I don't
normally
think
have?
English
cannot
is
find
their
any fun
first language.
factors.
0 fun factors. How many fun
Not-
factors in this
13
game?
fun factors.
On the back it says players 1 to 4, time 60 to 90 minutes.
Fun factors, 4.
0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Farside Hobbs says,
Far Side Hobbs, okay.
yeah. What a snooze fest. I was thoroughly bored during the entire game. Gears upon gears upon gears. This is definitely not my cup of tea.
Wait a minute. Are you sure that's
did he
not for
just-
Zolkin?
These right
That sounds like a Zolkin
rating.
comment.
Yeah,
Gears upon gears upon gears is a Zolkin comment for show.
Jerk.
Not Teotihuacan.
Way to go,
He
Calvin
put it on
Hobbes.
Teotihuacan.
No, you know what we're going to do? What's his name? I'm going to message him right
Farside
now.
Hobbs.
Far Side Hobbs. I'm messaging this asshole.
Yeah.
He also says, I don't feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is one of my pet peeves in gaming. I'm collecting goods from some spots, then moving a few more and spending them. I don't feel like I'm building the temple.
Okay, that's Teotihuacan. But there's no gears.
Do you ever in lots of games feel like you're actually building a temple?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
do I ever go, you know what? I feel like a merchant.
I feel like I'm really making these outfits in Rococo. Like, no, I don't.
For Euro games, you should go into a Euro game expecting the theme to be pasted on.
Right. Euro games are not like getting
And I would even
immersed in the
argue that
theme.
you feel more in Teotihuacan like you're actually building the thing because you are actually
You
building
have
the thing.
pieces that build it.
Yeah,
It
you're building that
Yeah,
pyramid.
this game more than most games, you are actually doing the thing. I'm like salivating here. Most games like this, yeah, he's right. You are, or she's right. You are. It's like abstracted.
Yeah.
But this game, you literally are building
Yeah.
the thing.
Right.
So no, this is no. I don't accept this one.
No.
Sorry.
Ian
not
Wright
accepted.
says, please be aware that the cover box's damages and one temple tile is missing. Can send a picture on request.
Okay, it's a
So
trade.
it's
That's
like
a trade
rated a
comment.
1 and then put a trade comment in the game comment. Yeah.
There is a
Box is
specific
dented.
area in
Yeah.
Board Game Geek to enter a trade comment.
Yeah,
not
comment. Not comment for the game.
Oh man, everybody's got to be aware.
Yep.
Do you think
Yeah.
Danielle
Beware.
Tashini knew about
Every
that?
single game produced has a dent in the box and is missing. Beware of that.
Oh my gosh,
gosh.
that's so funny. We gotta tell Danielle. Sorry, the box
This one's
is
just like
damaged.
gibberish. Blodskajig.
Wait, what? Blodskajig?
Blodskajig.
How's it spelled?
BLODSKJEGG.
Blodskajig. Blodskajig. Okay.
Damn, this game was really not my type of game. Never gonna play this again, ever.
Never gonna play it. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa!
Wow.
Ever again.
Ever. All caps. Okay. Night Train 54.
on a
This
night
game
train.
irks me. I generally don't enjoy worker placement games, particularly because of the seemingly inadvertent blocking. This one doesn't have blocking, but having your dice on the spot makes it more expensive for the other players. So it's just an irritant and not a reason to completely change your strategy. I find this approach like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
I'm a little bit annoyed that people think this is a worker placement game. It's not worker placement. It's just it's a rondelle.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why
people call
mistaken.
everything worker placement, and
Yeah.
maybe it shouldn't bug me. Maybe I'm being like a snooty purist about it.
Yeah, I guess,
but
'cause you-
everything is not work. Just because you're putting something on somewhere does not make it worker
Because
placement.
you
Worker
can't
placement
decide, you can't just put it wherever you want, right?
right. It's a rondelle
Yeah.
where you're like you have to you're going in a circle, gears upon gears upon
Yeah.
gears.
What? Yeah, that was just wrong. Disjunct says
Disjunk.
disjunct.
Oh man,
Disjunk.
this junk, suck on this junk.
Disjunk says disjunk.
This
This game's
the
junk.
disjunk in this game is high.
They said Microsoft Excel Aztec Edition.
That's bullshit. It's wrong.
Yeah. Idiot.
Brandy Star says
Brandy style.
pretty much a soulless Euro where you move around a board that's a bookkeeping nightmare and build a pyramid, among other activities. Just a busy number manipulation where AP reigns for many players. Would be a 5 or 6 if it only took 30 minutes, but for a 2+ hour game, it's rip your eyes out time.
Oh,
Ouch.
okay.
Yikes.
You know,
fair
that was
points.
at least well constructed. That was
Yeah.
a well constructed criticism,
Yeah.
and it's his opinion. It's wrong, but it's
Yeah.
his opinion.
Yeah.
Trapdoor is it trapdoor spider?
Trap erasive? I don't know.
Traperassive. Okay.
Baressive.
In stark contrast to the brilliant Zulkin, this new design is the opposite of elegance, what makes for an utterly dull point grind without highlights or enjoyment.
Ouch.
Man, that's just mean.
I know.
Sounds like they just love
contrast.
Zulkin, so like they're gonna.
Different games. Aren't they allowed to
not
just be
like
different
this.
games?
Right, they're very different games. Gears
For-
upon gears upon gears.
Gears. I can't even. Gears as far as the
So
eye
many
can
gears.
see.
There's
Are
so
there
many
even any
fucking
gears?
No, there's no gears.
They like mix
Gears?
two games together.
Yeah.
This one, Friendless.
Oh, friendless.
Well, no wonder.
You know them?
He's got a stat site.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Friendless says the rules of this game are just insane.
No.
They just go on and on
Not
with
crazy.
exception after exception. I'll be damned if I can find any
Oh.
fun in them. I hate this because I really want to like the game. It's
good, though.
Seriously, take half the stuff out and there might be a great game in there.
Take half of it out.
Wow.
Which half? Like
Yeah.
the left side of the
The
board?
gears.
The
Take
gears.
the gears out.
Yeah.
Oh. He
Add
did.
in-
He did.
add
He
in-
took that
yeah, the
advice.
gears have been
I
out.
took
So,
all
hey,
the gears
maybe
out
he
of
doesn't
it.
know this. The gears are out of it,
gears
so
are
that
out.
half's gone.
They're out.
So you like this, friendless.
Yeah.
Cavern 11 says at dawn, when the first rays of the sun hit the pyramid, your eyes are just shining. I think they mean shining. But the sun will keep rising and will therefore cast strong shadows on the board. The game is slow,
No.
mechanical, and very opportunistic. Its basic idea is to develop yourself, but the final goal is to reset your progression before each scoring. So you spent the whole play to do the same things again and again. Worst, the pyramid is some kind of island of luck. If the previous player reveals good tiles, you will score. Otherwise, you will help the next player to come,
Oh, I see what he's saying.
and you can't act on this. Finally, the design is nice, but doesn't really help to understand the game, and you will surely miss a couple of tiny rules. Sad.
The amount of like what he's talking about in the tiles that come out that could screw the screwage is like instead of 2 points, I get 1 point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like
That's
you're
not
not
where,
like,
like, the
oh, I
majority
just
of
flipped
the
this and now you get
points
20
are
points because of the
either.
randomness.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Guy.
wrong.
E. Jones 307. Kind of clunky and uninteresting. Nothing really terrible, just not really fun. Also very confusing first 1 to 2 plays.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually understand that one. I don't agree with it, but
Yeah.
that's
But
okay.
that's their opinion, yeah.
Yeah,
Fine.
Yeah.
I am
It's your opinion.
fine, whatever. It's your opinion.
Who cares?
point
Dr. King.
salad on steroids. Not very thematic as you run around the Mexican treadmill and needlessly complicated.
That's kind of funny.
The Mexican
Run around
treadmill.
the Mexican treadmill. That
Yeah.
sounds racist, though. So maybe I
Yeah.
shouldn't laugh.
Don't say that.
Pshwar.
That sounds like when someone throws a knife at you and you duck out of the way at the last second.
It's like PSCH war. Analysis paralysis, the game. The dice rondelle worker placement mechanism was clever and unique, but just too much repetitive fluff around it. 3 hours of solitaire, 0 hours of fun. Players who love to plan 10 turns ahead will enjoy this, and players who hate waiting in silence while players plan 10 turns ahead will hate this.
That's funny. We've played this a bunch. I've never felt like,
Super.
yeah, the AP was
yeah.
really,
You just
really
play
bad.
play the game. Just play it.
Yeah.
Stop trying
Yeah.
to always
Because,
like
you
win
can
or be
usually
the best.
only
Just
go
play it.
like
Just have
what,
fun. Play the
like
game.
1 to 2 spaces ahead.
You can move 1 to 3, I think.
to
You
Because
can
someone's
move
trying to like plan it their entirety game.
Yeah, I guess if you're planning,
Maybe you just
10
need to get
ahead,
better
but-
friends who play
that.
better.
Yeah, it's
and have
like
fun.
if you're going to play like that, you have to like, there has to be a thing at the beginning of the game where you're like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try as hard as I can to squeeze out every last possible. Every turn of mine is going to be the best possible move I could possibly make, and I'm going to spend upwards to 10 minutes making sure that happens.
I'm going to make everybody else not have any fun.
Yeah, so then I feel like if you have a bunch of because there are a lot of players who play games to do that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't be the only one at the table doing that when everyone else just kind of wants to play.
You will ruin
also,
the game
I don't
for
know how
people.
you can totally plan 10 turns ahead in this game because when depending on what the other people do, it kind of like changes everything.
Absolutely, you got to have the right.
You have to add more like costs of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's stupid.
This is
Stupid
the last
idiots.
one.
The last one.
Raging Gamer says, "Yaps." YAPS. Yet
Yaps.
another point salad game.
Yet
Yaps.
another point. Oh, that's funny. Because Jace is just another soulless euro.
Oh,
Yaps
really?
is yet another point salad.
And that concludes the beatdown.
Woo! How do you feel now, Tasquaka? You should feel pretty good because those are a bunch of bullshit. You should feel good about
Yeah,
yourself.
you're
Good.
good.
You're
You're a good
69
game and we
ranked
love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't listen to any of them.
Yeah. These are a bunch of jerks.
I mean, it's funny because we enjoy point salads here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Point salad is great for us.
It is funny.
It's fun to get points.
It's funny how like everybody has different ideas on what makes a good game, and so like people who give it a 1 say it's because it's a point salad, which we love, or there's like take thatty games which we hate but other people love, and that's like a number 1 mechanic for them. And yeah, it's just interesting. Everybody's different.
Agreed.
But there's games out there for all of them.
For all of
Shout.
them. Are you guys ready for the game of the episode?
Oh yeah.
No, sir.
Sorry.
Good.
Tonight's game of the
Failing at that
episode,
game.
we're going to play a new game
Ooh, new
called... Are you ready for what it's called?
Playing a
Nude
nude
game?
A nude... Yeah, get your clothes off. Get your clothes off now. I tried really hard to make a 69 themed game, and everyone either just turned out disgusting, like even for me, or really, really boring.
Yeah.
I almost settled on this one game where you had to figure out, you had to guess. So like Jeff, you would name a game.
Coimbra.
And Natalie had to guess if she thinks it's rated on the geek rating closer to 6 or closer to 9. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And then I went, did it all. And then I was like trying to think of games. And I'm like, no, this is going to be really dumb. Closer to 9. Correct. Closer to 6. Correct. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what I thought of.
It doesn't have to be.
This game is called the
game.
Box Cover Challenge.
Oh boy.
Box.
You wrote down the name of
love
the game.
games and play games constantly. But how often do you actually look at the box cover? I mean, you'll see it in passing, but what the heck is on there?
Like,
do you actually remember what's on the cover of the box?
Dun, dun,
Well, we're going to test that now. I'm going to
boy.
read off 10 games, 5 for each of you, and the 2 of you must correctly identify with reasonable certainty what the cover of the box looks like. You have to give a little bit of specificity, so it can't just be, well, there's a guy on the box cover, okay?
Okay.
Looking all smug. There needs to be a little bit of detail. So I have 5 games for each of you. Whoever gets the most correct will be the winner. Are you ready? Try hard not to look in the collection at all.
Yeah. All right.
So I have 5 games for each of you. We're going to start with Natalie.
Yes.
All right, Natalie. I want you to tell me what is on the cover of the box for the original version of the Castles of Burgundy. What's on the cover?
Don't look. Close your eyes.
Well, I know
Just
it's like mostly like burgundy color.
Check.
That's not going to
Let me
be
write
enough
this down.
to get you the point here.
Is there like a castle and it's like little buildings and like a little town kind of thing in the middle, and it's like it's surrounded by like a burgundy color box, and then it's got like fancy font that says the Castles of Burgundy. Is that not right at all?
No, that's right.
It is?
I don't know if it's enough.
There's more?
Yeah, can you name one more identifying feature, please? Just one.
Is
One.
there
There's 2 things I'm looking for. I just need you to name
a
one
key?
of them.
Ooh,
That's the new
on
one.
the new one. He did say
Wait.
original.
A person.
Try to go with something.
What is the
that's
person doing?
Burgundy.
They are herding sheep.
Like strangling them in the background? One stabbing them.
Herding. No, they are.
HURTI. They're hurting.
They are.
Ow, they're hurting the shit.
They're walking in the street.
Okay,
I don't know.
Jeff, I want to. You're going to be because it's. I mean, I guess you have a vested interest to say no, but I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. In my head, there's 2 big things on that cover that stands out. There's that castle
have to
town
give it
thing
to
that you
me.
said, and then there's like a man looking over that
Yes,
castle.
that's
like,
what
up
I
on
was
a
looking
hill.
for. There's a man looking into it, and the other thing, there's a big river coming in the middle.
Gross.
I don't.
Nice.
It's up to you. I don't remember
I'm going to say
any of
no.
Should we do like half points?
I'm going to
this
say
episode?
yeah. We'll do okay. That's a good one. We'll give you a 0.5.
All right.
We're going to give you a 0.5. That could be a tiebreaker because
look
there's
at
not
that.
really a little town. There's a castle.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a wagon going on this
But
road.
is there?
There's a river.
But is there Burgundy?
There is a lot of
Okay.
Yeah, the entire. She's right about that.
Yeah, the
the
Burgundy
entire
is
box
surrounded
cover
in
is
Burgundy,
surrounding
yeah.
it.
But I didn't remember, yeah.
And she's right about the font. That was
Yep.
good.
No, that's good.
But I needed. Yeah, so we'll do a half point there. Okay, Jeff, you
See
ready,
how that
man?
goes. Yeah.
Okay, so I got to pull this up so I can.
Well, that's embarrassing.
It's not like
that's like my favorite
don't pick like
game.
Coimbra because it's looking at me. I can't like.
Yeah, don't play.
Yeah. Luckily,
on
this
like-
game is not in my collection right now.
Okay.
All right, Jeff, I need you to tell me what's on the box cover for the Viticulture Essential Edition.
Ooh, the Viticulture Essential Edition. In the background, you see a vineyard. Okay.
Okay.
On the right-ish side, you actually see the vineyard. There's like the little whatever the grape things look like. They're on vines.
Okay.
And then there are two people on the cover on the left side.
Okay.
A man and a woman, and they probably should be holding a little glass of wine.
Ooh.
Are they holding a little glass of wine?
Are they?
I'm gonna say they're holding a glass of wine.
Nice.
And do you need more?
Yeah,
or
I need a little more.
Okay.
If there was one thing that you said that was slightly incorrect, if you would have said
Okay.
it correct, you would have been done and nailed it. I'll say
Ooh.
that. That's how close you are.
There's a wine cellar? Is there a wine cellar on the right side? Along with them, you know what a wine cellar?
I've heard of those.
I don't know. Maybe I'll take my half point.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a half point here. Okay, here's what it
what am I
actually is. You are so correct. There is a man and a woman on the left side of the box.
Okay.
What they're holding is a bunch of grapes
Oh.
and a
The
bucket.
old sack of grapes.
On the right side, you're correct. There are the trees that are like I'm guessing
the
where the
grape
vineyard,
thing,
the
okay.
grape trees,
Ooh,
and then
those
there's
little-
two
those little
houses.
houses.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a little
the
house on the right hand
houses.
side, and then in the background, again, a river running through,
Oh,
and then
man.
mountains.
The river running.
So I'm going to give you a
Okay.
half point for that too.
All right, half.
Because you did
That's
not get
tough.
it incorrect,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say it was totally correct. So okay, you guys are tied at a half point.
Okay.
Ooh, Natalie, ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right, now hold on. I got to pull this up because I need to make sure that you're saying the right stuff. Okay, Natalie, we had a new game today in
New.
our Gamecasters Essentials. Do you remember what it was called?
Quacks of Quedlin.
Natalie, what is on the Quacks of Quedlinburg box cover?
Well, let's see.
You see her face?
Well, let's see.
Oh my God.
There is
Yep.
I'm gonna pull
a
it up.
cauldron.
Okay. There's a
Is
cauldron.
that right?
Okay. I mean that's a thing.
And there's some witches.
Okay.
And there's some bright colors.
A cauldron, some witches, and some bright colors. Okay. Anything else?
There's some
Use some
herbs
specifics.
Oh, there's some herbs. Okay.
and like
Who's
know
herb?
spices and
I have
like
an Uncle Herb.
Uncle
you know
Herb.
berries and things to put into the.
I think you're just naming game components.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Oh, and then there's like those weighing things,
Like a scale?
like a scale.
Those weighing.
Are those weighing things? The scale.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Again, just naming things
Okay.
that she knows in the game.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say you were wrong on almost the entirety of that.
Yeah, that's not
of
great.
that. There is a cauldron or two on the box cover. There's no witches. That's the witches expansion.
Is there ducks?
There's
It's not a game about ducks.
no quacks does not mean
Quack.
ducks. It's like
Quack.
it's like. All right, here's what's actually on the cover of the Quacks of Quedlinburg.
God, that's embarrassing.
It's like a marketplace. Okay, there's a bunch of like houses around the outside. There's a bunch of people like selling potions
big
and
market.
stuff at this
I'm
marketplace.
just completely wrong.
Yeah, you weren't anywhere close. But you know what you were correct with? There's a lot of colors.
A lot of colors.
So Jeff, we're gonna give her no points
Got
on
it.
that one.
Okay, no points.
You know, I think I was thinking of one of the.
You were probably
I
thinking
just
of the
told you
Witches
you were thinking of
expansion.
the Herb Witches expansion.
No,
Uncle Herb
I
Witch.
think I'm just like crazy.
Okay, Jeff,
Okay.
are you ready for your second one?
Okay.
This is a game
Okay.
similar to the Quacks of Quedlinburg that deals with bags and pulling things out of them. And you have just played this, I found out today, with your
Man.
wife. The game is Orleans. What is on the
Man.
cover of Orleans?
Okay. On the cover of Orleans, there is a blue man. Not from
Playing
like
the bongos.
Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
I'm not trying not to look at that. The game's like
Oh, is it right
Yeah,
there?
it's like right.
Okay, yep.
So there's a blue man.
Yep.
I want to say he's like, it's like a knight. Okay,
Yes.
like I don't. It's not like literally like blue man. It's not like Tobias.
I blew
like,
myself.
I blew myself. He's like, and I feel like he's holding up like his like one of his hands.
Okay,
Like he has something.
sure.
Shit.
What else is on there?
There's got to be like the city of Orleans in the background.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
So he's standing maybe more on the leftish side.
Okay.
There's the city of Orleans in the
duchy on the left.
background.
You looking at it now? Okay.
It's yellow. It's got so many colors.
Is there any
No.
other identifying features on the box that you can name?
Probably not. There's something like humongous
This
on
is
there.
hard.
There's a. Is the knight holding that shield? That like yellow and blue shield, maybe? Maybe he's holding like the first player shield. That's somewhere on there.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
Okay. That deserves at least a half a point.
Natalie?
There's
Half a point?
There's one gigantic thing you missed.
Damn it.
There's two people the size of the Blue Knight on either side of him.
Oh.
But
yes,
you were
there
correct.
are.
Orleans, the city of Orleans is in the background.
Okay.
He's got his hand in the air, just like you said. He's got his shield there, just like
There's
you
two
said.
dudes, the monk and the something else.
Yeah,
Over there.
yeah.
And that lady. Oh,
You know
the
what?
lady. Those are the people you get.
Yeah, the people.
I looked it up and it's like, you know, when you look up something like this and it shows like where you can like buy it from, and the Walmart version or the Walmart like one says
Called
Orleans
Schmorleon.
board game.
Orleans.
Orleans.
Orlans.
Orleans. Yeah, it is the Walmart version.
Orleans.
It's Orleans.
That's hilarious. What do you think, Natalie? Are you okay if I give him a point there?
Half a point?
You think he should get...
Oh,
You should
don't
not.
ask me.
Okay.
Do a half.
Natalie's like, I don't think he gets anything.
Yeah, zero.
No.
All right, give you
I
a half
don't
point.
want
No,
him
half
half
point's good.
either.
We're
All
going
right.
half points here. This is our first time playing this game.
Yeah, why
It's
not?
going to be hard to get every
Yeah.
element of the game. So that was pretty good.
All right.
Nice job.
I would
Natalie,
not
are you
have
ready
gotten
for
anywhere
your
close.
third game of the competition?
Okay.
This game is the Quest for Planet 9, The Crew.
Oh, the crew? Oh,
What is on the cover, Natalie, of The Crew?
I have it pulled up.
She's like, I have no fucking clue.
you know you're
the
playing
name,
a game.
it says The Crew on it.
You know you're playing a game with somebody where you need to be observant, and I
Yep.
am not observant.
I tried to give you softballs so that you could just like,
It's like seems like I'm like, duh, I know that, and then I'm like,
yes,
I
that's
can't
the point.
see any
It's like,
details
You've seen
in
these
my
games,
head.
but like, what is actually
Yeah.
on the
it's
cover?
blue
of the
and it's
Okay.
small and it's
It's small.
has some blue and black.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The crew. What the fuck is the picture?
Yeah, like what's on the cover? You think?
Good to guess.
Yeah.
Take a
It
shot.
is space.
Okay.
Point. Natalie, what is on the
Can you
cover of
give me-
Space?
What does space entail,
Oh my
Natalie?
god! It has space and it has a person with a space helmet.
A space helmet. The space helmet. A person with a space
A
helmet.
space helmet? It's a person with a space helmet. Okay.
Like an astronaut.
Like an astronaut?
Space helmet man.
Is there more?
You tell me. Is there more?
We will stop when you would like.
So here's what she said so far. There's blue and black. It's small.
It's small.
It's space.
It's space.
There's a man with a space helmet.
Space helmet.
Like an astronaut.
Like an astronaut.
That's
Space-
all we got so far.
Let me
What
write
else?
it-
You
let
got
me write
anything
this
else?
Is there more?
You tell me.
You have to go until you say.
Yeah,
you're
when
done.
you say you're done, I'll tell you how you
And
did.
there's probably a planet.
Are you saying that there's
Are you
a...
saying it or
Some
no?
stars. Okay, the end.
I think she actually gets a point.
She
for
ended
this.
up getting there.
Here's
Really?
what it looks like.
Bullshit.
What?
Oh, there's space and planet.
So
Name
there
everything
is an
about
astronaut.
space.
There's two astronauts. It is blue and black.
Oh my
There is a
God.
planet. So you pretty.
I guess you just said space things. Hey, Natalie, talk about
I told
space
you I
for
was
a
giving her
minute.
softballs.
What do you know about space? Well, let me tell you about space.
There's probably
I know there's astronauts and
Is that
planets.
actually, did she just say astronaut first? She's like a man
A man
in a
with-
space helmet.
Normal clothes, space
I
helmet.
think I knew I could like picture like something like big and round, but I'm like, is that a planet or is that like someone's head with a helmet? I can't like.
That's how this works, you know.
Point.
You just don't know what's going on. We're giving you the point. We're gonna give it to
Oh,
you.
thank you.
You
got
Oh
it.
my god, that's
Space.
Just so you know, Natalie, if that was Jeff and I gave him the point, you would be so fucking. You would not be having that.
I have
You would
changed.
We'll find out in this
be
next
having
one.
that. Yeah, exactly. Here we
I've
go.
turned nicer.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay.
This is one of your most favorite games of all time.
Oh boy.
This is the game. It might have changed since then, but your only win of this game was against me for a long time. This game is called Five Tribes.
Ooh man,
What is on
that's,
the cover of Five Tribes?
that's not going to be a good one for me.
Uh-oh.
Five Tribes is not. So I have it, but it's at like it's on like a bottom shelf of my collection.
Okay.
I'm not sure if
so
I'm
you
going to
can't
get a
see
whole
it?
lot. Angie's looking it up. Natalie, could you do this one? I think
Hell
there's
no.
like a man with a
know if she's
space
able to-
helmet.
Okay, yeah.
Right, okay.
What else?
All right, what's on 5 Tribes? I want to say, all right, there is a lady on the front of 5 Tribes.
Okay.
On leftish middle side.
Okay.
I think it's probably not a sari, but I don't know the face covering. Does she have a face covering?
Okay.
It says 5 Tribes.
Okay.
It's square.
I will tell you that's correct.
Biggerish, yes. It's bigger than the crew.
Yeah, the crew is small.
Damn, what's going on like in the background?
what else is happening?
What is going on? What's going on in that game? There's probably some markets. There's got to be a camel back there. There's a camel for show.
Okay.
Because there's a camel. There's a palm tree.
Okay.
There's a palm tree back there
Uh-huh.
hanging out.
Sure.
And
There's like a really big thing
I
that
know,
I'm
I'm
looking
like-
for.
in my
That if you
head,
get
I'm
it
like-
right now, I'll give this point to you.
damn.
Because you nailed the lady.
okay,
There's
I got
also
the lady.
another thing about the lady, but you nailed her.
What's the lady?
You
doing?
nailed her.
I nailed
Devin
her.
is not happy about it.
In your
In your face, Devin.
Devin, I nailed her. And I nailed her. Right
You
there
are
on the
correct
box.
about the palm trees and the camels.
Oh,
You're
I don't know.
there's a big. There is.
I'll stop.
Okay, there is a palace, a giant.
Oh, the palace. Of course there is.
in the background.
Palace.
Here it is. And,
Yeah, the damn palace. Oh, I
she's
knew there was a
holding-
man on the other side.
And there's a man on the other
Damn
side,
it.
and she's holding a knife.
Okay.
That's a half point. That's worth a half point for you.
What do you think?
I'm
Natalie?
good with
Half?
that.
You okay with that?
Yeah. I am. You got the lady, and you
Yeah.
described her cover.
Okay, now I need you to
there
look.
was
there
another
was
guy.
palm trees and camels.
Now, you did good. Now I need you to look at me the whole time and not move your gaze. Okay. This is a game we just played as well. IRL with
In real life.
who do we play it with? Frank and Kyle, I think. Frank and Kyle.
Sagrada?
Sagradi, Sagrada, life goes on. Yes,
Oh,
Sagrada.
that's easy.
You think
Oh,
so?
that's easy.
All right, let's hear it.
Spaceman.
All right. Wow.
Shit, that's fucking-
It is very colorful.
All right, that's not enough.
Oh,
I'm gonna
great
tell you that
colors.
right now.
Got stained glass.
Huh?
Stained glass.
Okay.
Windows. Of.
Okay.
Why are you saying it?
Because there's a very, very big identifying thing that you have to say, or you're not getting it.
All right. Well,
Two,
I'm
actually.
gonna say it then.
What do you think about that? I had my mimosas. Now I'm going to say it. Let me
There's
tell
a
you.
circle.
Oh,
What was there?
okay. Is there? I don't know. You tell me.
There's a circle
Okay. So you got stained glass window, colorful circle. Okay.
with some circles in it,
Ooh, a circle and
Circle with
circle.
circles.
and then
Okay.
there's like stained glass and like
Yeah.
lots of colors and stuff of like the glass pieces, and then it says Sagrada, all
then?
like stained glassy
then?
inside the artwork.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
I think you're at half a point right now.
You're close. You're doing really well. I'm gonna tell you that. You're doing really well. There's two
Yeah.
really identifying features. If you can get one of them, I'll give you the point. There's two more things.
He'll give you the point. I might not.
Is it a door?
Is it a? I don't know. Is it a door?
It's a door.
Okay.
Is that your final answer?
You got it. Final answer.
Yeah.
All right. Half point for Natalie.
Yeah, it's not a door.
It is adorned on the outsides with the dice. The
So the-
dice are all over the box, and in the middle of that circle is a castle.
Like a cathedral.
like the
or something,
cathedral-
but
like the
you're
cathedral.
making. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't remember that.
you did a really good job.
That was good.
You were cruising. I was like, oh yeah, she got this.
Yeah, that was good.
Yep, I'll give you half point for that. All right, Jeff.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I don't
you
even know
see
if
it in
I've
there?
noticed that.
Really?
I got the circle right. That's the biggest.
Yeah,
You
or
sure
you
did.
could do the dice.
And
Would have been
I
the
got
other
the
one. I think if
dice,
you said the
yeah.
dice, I think that would have been
it
the
was
other
the
one.
dice or the castle. You would.
I did say a big circle with little circles.
Oh, when you said that, I was like, oh shit,
She's
she
circling
does
her
know.
circles,
I'm like,
yeah.
she really
She's all
knows
over
that.
the
Okay, Jeff.
That was like a
All right.
70% guess.
It was.
I was like, I'm like 70% sure.
no, you
that's
got it.
that.
You got it. All right,
Got
Jeff.
it.
Here we go.
Okay.
Code names.
Code names.
Yep.
The OG.
Oh my god, you see Natalie's face? You just missed
Okay,
Natalie's face.
Natalie got the crew a second ago,
Yeah.
which she just was able to just name space things and got an entire point. Oh, what's in space? Oh, planet and astronauts. I win. Black and blue. Hoo, ha, ha,
Say
ha.
astronaut.
Yeah. A space helmet man. Oh man. Well, Natalie, I might not even get all the point here. So let's
Take your point.
Okay, it's like it's orangish, right?
I was like code names. She was like,
Oh.
of course it gets that one. Orangish is what you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
orangish like ready kind of thing. So we're doing the original. one,
Yeah, the
right?
original. Yes, yes. Great,
There's
great.
silhouettes of two people,
Okay.
a man and a woman.
Okay.
They are they like just standing? Are they like passing info? Do I have to, is that what you want? Body position? It says code names on top.
No, whatever you have just said, I'm okay with that. There is one more thing.
What's going on in that picture?
But this is pretty good, dude.
Got probably a halfie.
No, I think you got like
Got a semi.
Yeah.
Like most of it.
What else would be in that thing? They don't have like sunglasses or anything cool. That's in like the picture of them.
Right.
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna stop there. I
Okay,
got nothing else.
I'm gonna give you a point for that. That you got it. It is
Natalie.
definitely orangish reddish. Yep, and there's like a little purplish too. That was good that you said that. There are two silhouettes, man and woman. They have a word bubbles
Oh, the word
that
bubbles.
they're saying.
Yeah.
The woman says top secret. The man says word game. That's fine. Jeff gets a point for that. Are you cool with that?
Yep.
All right, Natalie, the last one for you.
We are at. You want a score update?
Yeah, let's hear.
We're at 2 to 2 to 2.
That's 2 to 2.
2 to no, sorry, 2 to 2.5.
Two
I have
to-
2.5.
Jeff has 2.5. Natalie has 2.
Yeah.
Okay, Natalie, this is it. This is your last game. All right. This is a game that you really enjoy. I see you looking over there like, can I just look at games real quick? And then if he says it, I'll think about it. Deduction is its key mechanism, and it's called cryptid.
Cryptid.
What is on the box?
Cryptid.
Cryptid. You should have seen, dude. You were like doing this. She was just like,
I know, because I didn't want to look at anything.
she didn't make it noise. She was just like,
oh,
oh, of course.
of course.
Jeff gets code name.
she gets a 1 full point for man in space helmet. And is bitching about me getting code name. I got 5 tribes and Orleans and the other ones.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
Cryptid.
What's on there?
There's a monster.
What does it look like?
He's like kind of like
Big one.
bluish greenish,
Okay.
Okay, blue greenish monster.
and you can't really like see all of him. You can just like see his arms.
Okay. Okay. No. Okay. Keep going. Pull it up, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. What else is on the box?
Those damn arms.
That's all you can see.
Maybe
Some eyes.
Maybe. We'll see.
some eyes.
Is there anything else
Now
on the box cover other
you're
than
not gonna be happy when you see this
armless
one.
monster or this arm monster with maybe some eyes on it? Is there anything else?
It's like a squiddy type guy.
A squid. Okay.
Ooh, that body motion might have helped.
A squiddy type guy.
Type guy.
You can only see his arms.
Maybe an eye.
Maybe
an eye.
Maybe. Is there anything else on the box? Is it just the squiddy type monster with some?
Give us some like
Maybe.
color or
arms?
something.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said bluey green for the monster.
Okay.
What about the rest of the box?
It's like purplish. Maybe some orange.
Maybe,
Maybe.
s'mores? What'd you say?
orange.
Oh, maybe s'mores?
Maybe some orange.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
And like
Now just
maybe,
keeps
like,
digging. Just
a
digging.
map.
Oh, yeah, a map. Okay. Yeah, I
some,
see.
like
Just digging a hole.
hexagonal.
The heck.
type
Now she's just again naming game components and hoping to get there. I'm gonna get there.
Are you gonna keep going? or
Oh,
what?
and it says cryptid.
Oh, when it says cryptid. Nailed it. You nailed it.
I don't know.
Oh.
Not
Clearly,
right
I don't
on
know
any
what I'm
account.
That was
There is a
not good.
monster. The monster is like a snake. So guess how many arms it has?
It's like a serpent. Yeah, it's
You
well,
said
it's
it
like a
was
serpent.
only
thing.
I knew it was like squiddy, so like it was like
It's not
squirmy.
squiddy. It's a snake.
It's like a big
There's
snake.
no squiddy part about it at all. It's like a sea snake.
I thought you were gonna nail that one.
I did too. I thought you.
Wow.
I don't know if I had like
Just arms,
there's like a
maybe
little
an
city
eye.
in the background, but I thought you were gonna get the monster for
Embarrassing
sure.
How much I don't remember.
And
like I
the-
looked at them and I'm like,
The purple and orange was off.
Purple was really funny. Purple? A map with hexagonal
Maybe some
shapes?
yeah, I don't
maybe
deserve
s'mores.
points for that.
Yeah, that's we're gonna give you negative points for that one. Let's go -1, Jeff, I think.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I was hoping you would at least get a half point because this is
Well, let's do this. Maybe
anticlimactic.
Natalie and I will do this next one together.
Jeff
Wanna do this
wins.
Next one together.
It's up to you.
Here we go, Jeff.
Yeah, let's teamwork this next one.
Jeff, can
Yeah.
you tell me, sir,
No.
what is on the cover of the game where whenever you roll it, you die?
Whenever you roll it, you die.
It's called Dead of Winter.
Oh, Dead of
It's
Winter.
on the cover of Dead of Winter.
Oh, I know this one pretty well. I think.
Oh.
Zombies.
Do you know this one? No, there's no zombies. It says Dead of Winter in like a badass font.
It is badass.
It's like
It's like-
white and grayish.
No, It's like a black with like it's like a black
font?
reddish sort
No, I
of.
just mean like
the font.
no,
maybe.
like the box cover.
Oh, no.
Colors.
But right in the middle. So think of the cover as being like a window pane, and the middle's like cracked.
Okay.
And then in each shard of the box is like a face of one of the characters that you can be.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
snap.
I that box cover is so cool.
You got maybe 10 points there.
yeah, boom.
I think that'd be an auto.
Natalie worked
If you
and I
were
were
losing,
together,
that's an auto.
so-
That's a rocking jock style.
Totally.
Natalie, you were right. The font, even though you didn't say it was a font, is white and grayish.
Oh.
Dead of Winter or blue.
Yeah.
You killed it, dude. That was
yeah.
absolutely
okay.
100%
That
right.
looks,
Yeah, 100%
Yeah, it's a
right.
cool-
He
it's a
didn't cheat.
cool-
I don't have that game in my collection, so he did
Yeah,
not
it's a
cheat
cool
there.
picture.
So very good job.
I feel like,
Jeff
what
wins
cover
3
would
to
I
2,
know?
or no, 3.5 to 2. What'd you say?
It's like, what cover would I know?
I
Besides
kind of
code
thought you
names.
would know some of those.
I think I would have known code names.
I thought you might have got Burgundy.
You were close on
Code
Burgundy.
names you would have got.
That's embarrassing.
You were nowhere near on Quacks. The Crew was a gift.
Yeah, yeah.
Sagrada, I could give you the point for Sagrada. Let's make it a little bit. Jeff wins
Yeah.
3.5
That's
to
fine. Yeah.
2.5. Mm-hmm. How about
I
that?
probably could have got like
Sagrada was your best one, I think.
Terraforming Mars or something
Terraforming
like
Mark.
that.
They're forming Mark.
Well, awesome. That was a fun
Anyway.
game of the episode. I'm very happy
Yeah,
about
that was
that.
fun.
Good job, guys. Congratulations to our mad board gamer for winning that one. In this episode's top 5 list, I had considered coming up again with some of my top 69 games, but like real 69ing, that was just a one-time thing that will likely never happen again. So instead, we're going to come up with our top 5 big games in small packages. And let's go Jeff, Natalie, and then me this time. So
Okay.
Jeff, whenever you're ready to preamble it away, let's hear your number 5 for big games in small packages.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, let me start by saying that I thought of a smaller box as being anything really smaller than your like Ticket to Ride shape, that's square,
Yeah,
right?
that which is like the standard.
or even smaller than like Grand Austria Hotel or Troyes or Istanbul, which is more that
It's like
rectangle-ish.
skinnier, but taller.
Yeah, so I'm going with smaller than both of those.
Got it. Agreed.
Okay. My first game that is a big game in a smaller box, which in my opinion could even be in a smaller than what it is box, is a game called Isle of Skye.
Ah, yeah.
Isle of Skye is a super fun auction game, building this cool city. I like setting the price of things and
That's
having other
fun.
people buy it and sort of managing how much do I make it, because if I make it too high, I got to buy it. I think that game's just so fun. And I know it caught Ryan by surprise where maybe this was it the first time you
Yeah,
played
the
it,
first time I played it, I was like,
Yeah.
it's okay, and I got rid of it. And then we played it at Nerdfest, and I was like, oh man, this is good. We
it's
played it again
good.
after that, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this
and
is
I think
awesome.
it's a smaller box. It's a little bigger than like a Codenames box if you're trying to picture that, but I think it could fit in a Codenames box
yeah,
for how kind of small
it's like the size
is.
of like the original like Las Vegas, like that kind of box.
Yeah, but it's a fun game. That's I think that might be the biggest box that I have.
Very cool.
On my small
Good one.
box.
Isle of
games.
Skye.
Yeah,
Fister. Is it Fister?
Fister.
Barely new. Isn't it Fister?
It is
No. Is it Rudiger Dorn? No.
I think it's
Fister.
Fister,
It's
yeah.
Fister. All right, Natalie, what is your number 5? Oh no.
I'm embarrassed.
She gonna say like Mechs versus Minions?
Yeah.
No.
I went the wrong way.
Gloomhaven.
So I struggled with this list.
Anachrony.
Okay.
So this particular game is
Is it in a small box?
Very
it's
drunk.
a box that is small in comparison to the footprint of this game.
That's fine.
And that game is Twister.
Welcome to the Gamecasters. We are a board gaming podcast about board games.
I mean, it's like a little square box, and then it takes up like 6 feet by 6 feet.
I'm always bringing mimosas.
Oh, I
FYI,
don't
I
think
thought I nailed it when I wrote this.
I have not been rendered speechless
Nailed
in a
it.
long time.
Twister.
Yeah, that's because it's so good. Your turn.
Your turn.
You know what?
Oh,
I
man.
hadn't anticipated going in that direction, and
There you go.
story of my life.
Yep. So
I am very proud of you, I suppose,
I need to
because
start-
you think that is just really fun.
That's why you're proud of me.
yeah,
Not because it's an amazing choice.
yeah.
Well,
I'm ready to hear the rest of it.
That is, if that's how
I
you
know.
went for all 5, that's impressive.
What other games have boards that like unfold and
Yeah, like
inflatable?
enormous
or-
board rolled into this little tiny
That's
box.
probably the most
I have an
extreme.
inflatable pool that fits into a tiny box.
Big pool and a
We
little
play
box.
Marco Polo in there.
Number 5 for me is a very small box. The game is not like super heavy, super thinky game, but there's a lot of game in here that people love this game. I am one of the only people that really likes this game. Natalie hates it, but it's just stuck around in my collection for years. We played it one time over at Jeff's mom's house, and it's
yeah.
Biblios.
Good game.
Remember
Yes.
Biblios?
Biblios might have got. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear.
Didn't it get like a reskin or like maybe a new print run
It
or something?
originally was out as a game called Scripts and Scribes.
Yeah.
And then was rethemed to or retitled as Biblios. And then I think they just
Maybe there's an
released
expansion
a
with
new
Biblios, Scripts, and
version
Scribes
or
or something.
Yeah,
Something
I don't
weird
know
like
exactly
that.
what happened. But this game is really cool because there's 2 like phases, like 2 like ways you play the game. You go through the deck one time and you are drawing 3 cards, or I'm sorry, you keep a card, you discard a card, and then you have to give the rest of the cards to your competitors, which is really cool. Because as soon as you look at a card, you're like, oh, I'm keeping that. And you make the decision to keep it. If the next card comes up and you're like, oh, that's way better.
Damn.
Too late. You
Yeah.
got to give it away or discard it. And then in the second phase, you're auctioning all the discards off.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of that, it's all set collection. Whoever has the most of a certain color gets whatever numbers on the die. The dice
I would
that are
play
in
that
the
game
middle.
again soon.
Yeah, it's a very
People
fun
really
game.
like that game.
Yeah,
too.
that gets a
It
lot
is like
of
some-
love.
I don't want to say cult following, but there's a lot of people that love that
Yes,
game.
absolutely. So that's my number 5. It's a very small box game and a lot of game to it. That's Biblios. Jeff, what about you, man? What's number 4?
My number 4 is a game that's probably on Natalie's list. Ryan, I think, might not put it on his list because I think he was going for no matches this week. So I'm going to pick one before Natalie does. Circadian's First Light
Yep, I
is a
purposely
box
didn't
that
put it
I
on.
just thought was a gigantic box. And I was like, I'm going to get a big box.
Yep.
And then it showed up in this small box.
Teeny
I'm like,
little box.
What
Yeah.
the? Did I
What
get the
is this
expansion?
nonsense?
What is this garbage?
What happened here?
And man, you just keep pulling shit out of that box. You open
Yep.
it up and there's like, here's another board. Here's another board.
Yep.
Here's 50 pieces. Here's another board.
Yep.
And then the game itself
There's a lot of game
is
in there.
a heavier game, right? It's mid 3s probably, and sometimes feels even heavier than that.
That's a game.
It is a game. And it's awesome. The art's great. That's a great game. I'm looking forward to playing again.
Very good
Probably with not 4, but maybe 2 or 3 to keep the AP down. But great
Yep.
game.
Good
Circadian's
game.
First Light, small box,
Natalie.
big game. Natalie is gonna say Jenga.
Yeah, right, Natalie. What is your number 4?
Well, you're very close. It's not Jenga, but it is Pictionary Air. That's gotta
Look
be.
at all the big things you can draw.
It's just a pen.
It's literally just a pen, but
but
the actual
it can be
game
whatever you
that
want it
You draw
to
is
be.
in the air. That is so huge.
Oh my
the
god.
air is humongous. So not only do you get the pen, you get the entire
I can
air
draw it as
with
big
it.
the room.
This is
as big
the
as my
biggest
body.
game.
biggest game possible. Huh?
If you buy a bigger TV, just imagine you could draw an apple that's on a
That's
70-inch TV.
huge game. I would never have thought Pictionary Air would be described as a huge game in a small.
Natalie's going straight up just
box.
size that it takes up in a room.
Oh my god, Natalie. Okay, number 4 for me. Did you make this list when you were drunk?
I made it last night in bed.
Oh, so she was
Yes.
drunk. Number 4 for me is a game that we just recently played with Sam, Miss French Toast, and she loved it. I didn't think she was going to. She liked it so much, I think she bought it or she was going to buy it. It's a very, very small box game by TMG called Jiraku.
Okay.
And it is basically an area control game that you're playing throughout a number of phases, but the mechanism it uses is really cool. It's trick taking. It uses this trick-taking mechanism, and you take actions with these cards that you play, and you're just moving your pieces along the board to try to score the most points per round. At the very beginning of the game, the most points are on the right side of the board, but at the end of the game, they're on the left side of the board. So do you like hold all your guys on the right side of the board to score the points early, or do you start marching them down early so then you can be at the end of the board by the end of the game to score the bigger points? And there's a lot of game in there, and it's a very, very tiny little box, and that's called Jiraku. So why are you like cackling over there?
Because her next couple are just going to be...
Oh my
There
god,
it
she's like doesn't even care
No,
what we're
it's good.
saying.
It's great.
All right, Jeff, what is your number 3, man?
My number 3 is a game called Nidavellir.
Nidavellir.
Not a super heavy game, but definitely in a more tight, small, compact box. I would say it's probably heavier than a game like Seven Wonders, which is, I feel like, a not very heavy game in a big box. Seven Wonders should be in like a tiny box.
Yeah.
They have this huge insert in that game. But this game is fun. It's set collecting, but in this kind of different, kind of cool art. You're having this, again, cool auction sort of thing. You might see I have a couple auction games on here. And it just is good. The expansion fits in that small box.
Oh.
So if you get the expansion, you can put it in the small box. The box is probably half of one of those like rectangle boxes, sort of. So it's a smaller.
Okay.
It's a little smaller than like Isle of Skye. I'm trying to think, maybe a little bigger than a Codenames kind of box.
Gotcha.
But it all kind of fits
Yeah.
in there. Lot of game, fun game. That's something I'm excited to play
Nidavellir.
again.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. You guys ready for Natalie's number
Number
three?
three.
The trampoline in the backyard.
Obviously,
It came in a small box.
Yeah,
I had to put it
small
together.
box.
my interpretation is a bit different than yours.
No, I'm enjoying that.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead.
I'm enjoying
My
that.
number 3 is Rhino Hero.
Okay.
It's in a little box, and then it becomes really
And then it
fun.
becomes yes.
That's
is
really
good.
what you thought we meant when I said big game and
Nope, but that's all I could come up
That's
with.
funny.
I
couldn't
like
think
it.
of enough
I'm happy-
games like
it
you
still
thought.
fits the definition.
Yeah,
we
you're
never. I
good.
never specified exactly what I meant by that, so that's perfect.
And the Super Battle, you gotta be Rhino Hero the original because that's
Yeah,
a small
okay,
box.
that's
the
a
Super
little
Battle is
box.
a bigger
Super Battle's
the
a big box.
original is
Good
what
one.
I meant.
Very
Look how
good.
tall it's becoming.
Number 3 for me is a fantasy flight game that I don't even know if you can get it anymore, but it says very little tiny box. Love this cooperative game. Jeff had this really awesome play, rolling a die over and over and over and over and over again to kill a bunch of stuff before we ultimately died in the end. And that's called Space Hulk Death Angel.
Yeah, cool one.
Tons of game in that little box, right? There's a tiny little box, and there's just like it's not a big footprint like a Rhino Hero or a Twister.
Or a trampoline.
or a trampoline, but there's a lot of game in that little box,
Yeah.
and I love it. It's one of my favorite cooperative games of all time. So that's my number 3, Space Hulk Death Angel. Jeff, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is a game I got recently called that's coming out here in the United States really, really soon called Furnace.
I knew.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, when you said Nidavellir, I was like, "What if Furnace is going to make?"
Furnace is good, man. And again, another auction game, another bidding game that feels really unique.
Yeah.
You're bidding on these cards,
Those
but you can
tokens,
activate the card right away if you don't win it. So you almost don't want to win some cards, and then you put it in this awesome engine, and then you run the engine however you want. It's just a thinker. You can get locked up with it occasionally and just like go, all right, you're just overthinking. But man, the game is good. The game is also thinkier in a smaller box. I think Arcane Wonders is who's going to be publishing it here in the States.
Very cool.
Keep an eye out for that.
I'm very excited
Yeah.
about that. Just the box cover artwork is like
it's beautiful.
so cool.
Yeah, and the cards are beautiful. It's got like this cool white backdrop with it's awesome.
nice. All right,
All
Natalie,
right.
here we go. Let's hear number 2.
Can't wait for number 1.
My number 2 is Marvel United.
Okay, that's a smaller box.
It's a smaller box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
You have to think about my.
I'm getting into your brain, your
There's
drunk
not
ass brain.
that bunch of stuff, but it takes up a lot of room. So when you make the big circle around the table with the
Yep.
cards,
Okay.
and then the thing in the middle, and then it just takes up a lot of space.
Okay.
Space.
But
Which is
I'll-
like
which
your
is where
favorite
you were
game.
going.
Space.
Space.
Yeah.
Which is also what was on the cover of The Crew.
Yep. Space.
Space. Space helmet.
Space. There's a guy wearing one.
That's a man.
Guy has a
And
space
he's got
helmet
a
on.
space helmet.
Maybe like an astronaut.
Maybe. So got his monster's arms. The monster has no
Maybe an eye.
arms.
Maybe an eye.
Maybe.
Just like,
Yeah, just
I just picture like one of those
One eye with,
inflatable
like-
waving guys.
then
Like,
she's like, could be a squid.
Could be.
Probably a squid.
And then she like did the squid movie. All right, Ryan, what's your
Number
number
2 for me is a game designed also by Matthias Kramer, who just designed Rococo. And it's this little box game, 2-player only, really lot. There's a ton of thinkiness in this game. It's called Watergate.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, very, very cool game. I
forgot about
we
that
got to
one.
play that one again.
Yeah,
but
we do.
that's a thinky little game right there, and it's got this tiny little ass box.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I got the Geek Up bits for it just
Nice.
recently, so which would be fun to play with.
Yeah.
And that's my number 2, Watergate. Jeff, we've arrived.
Number 1.
At
You guys
number
know
one.
what you guys maybe know what my number 1 is?
I know what your number 1 is.
I think you just bought it recently.
TRC.
The Red Cathedral
Oh,
is my number 1. That is in a Codenames box.
Yeah, a little
essentially,
box.
and it's a little box by DeVere Games. And again, great game, dice kind of movement, rondelle sort of game, and it just works. That game really works, and as soon as I played it, it hit for me. It was like an instant hit for me. I'm really excited to kind of get it back to the table soon.
Sweet. Yeah, I want to play that sucker. We bought it for it, so we got
Yeah,
to.
let's
All right.
do
I almost played that instead of Rococo.
Okay.
But I was like, well, Jeff's already talked about it. Let's play something else.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Now the number
Natalie.
one we've all been waiting for.
Swimming pool. I think she had circadians on there randomly.
She crossed it out. I
did.
watched her scratch.
But it does not go along with any of
Yeah,
your
it's
other...
not in your theme.
Well, that's the only one I could think of that was like what
other
you guys
way?
are doing, and then I couldn't think of any more. So I
Okay.
couldn't think
Well,
of
let's hear it. What's number
So it's
one?
good because now that I couldn't say circadians,
Yep.
I could make it all the same.
You got it. It's all the same.
All right, number one.
Well, that means you had... So that means you had a honorable mention that was that was like this.
Yeah, the honorable mention was the
An honorable-
trampoline,
What's number one?
beach ball.
Swimming pool. The lake.
Okay, my number one is in a little box,
Okay.
and then you unfold it and unfold it and unfold it, and it just covers up the entire game table.
Micro
It's called
macro.
Micro macro.
Okay.
Of course it
That
is.
fits into your theme. Good.
It's actually kind of a small box too. It's like skinny. All right, I like that. I'm surprised you didn't put ice
right.
cool in there.
Yeah.
The box just keeps growing and
I
growing
thought
and
about
growing.
it, but the box seemed too big.
Gears and
Okay,
gears.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Gears upon gears upon gears.
I like your theme. I like.
I do too. I kinda like the
where
direction you went
Yeah,
in
you
this.
started
That's
with
kinda
Twister.
nice.
You ended better. Twister was a.
Twister was that. Well, what was so great about that is I did not even close to think that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's great.
I could not speak.
Yeah.
He could not speak it like you and me. Number one for me, a tiny, tiny, tiny little box. There's so much game in this tiny little box. It is a cooperative, asymmetrical game called The Ravens of Three Sahasri. There is so much little game in there because after you finally beat the game, which is like very difficult, there's like 3 like legacy little envelopes that you open up and they change the rules and make it harder and
cool.
and give you like powers. Maybe
I was
and
interested
stuff.
when you guys. That was maybe I want to say like 20 episodes ago. But I remember you guys talking about
long
that,
time
and that was
ago.
really interesting to me when you
It's
guys
a
were talking about that.
That was
very
when the
cool
table was over
game.
there.
It's very cool. It's very.
And the spot was
It's like the rules are really hard to understand, but when you get going and know how to play, it's
Yeah.
tough, man. There's a lot in there to unpack. So that is my number one. That is the Gamecasters top 5 big games in small packages. My only I just kind of didn't go a ton further.
Yeah.
My only honorable mention was Circadians.
Okay.
And I have.
I kind of knew one of us had to talk about that. I had Kanagawa. I think is a little too light maybe for what I thought my list was, but again,
Sure.
a good game in a small box. I had Cryptid.
Okay.
Which is a thinker in a small
Yeah.
box, right? Same
Yeah.
thing with Letter Jam is a game that can lock.
I
you
almost
up.
put Letter Jam
It's a
on
heavier
there.
kind
Yeah.
of like word game. I had
In a tiny little
Nova
box.
Luna's on there is a tough game.
Oh, okay.
I had Yinch or any of that series. My Yinch is a smaller
Yeah,
box
the
than
skinny
the
box.
newer one. So that was it. That was kind of why I left that one off. And then any of the exits or unlock, I thought you get a lot of stuff.
Oh,
and
that's a really good.
experience
That's
sort
a
of
good.
in
That's a
that.
good call.
Yeah.
I also think I don't think any of us have really played them, but aren't like the Viscounts of the West Kingdom? Aren't those games
Yeah,
in the
those are
Circadians
smaller
box?
ones. Yes, that would probably be.
Size
I
box, so
realize
they'd
those-
probably
Yeah.
fit in
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
I think it's the same designer, right? Circadians is the same guy. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Or do you have honorable mentions,
It's okay, I
Natalie?
don't have to read
No, read them.
The trampoline, the pool, the
Yeah, exactly.
I said circadians. I said acrotiri.
That's good.
All Agricola. I was drunk. When
That's a good one. Agricola.
Agricola.
Yeah, that's
all
a good one.
creatures, huge and little.
Huge a huge ass animal. All creatures, huge and little. You didn't even get like one, like big and small. You didn't even get like huge and small.
Huge
Huge and those little animals. It's like elephants and mice, just big ass animals.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Is that
That's
it?
it.
Wow. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. Remember, we have a giveaway going on until this coming up Thursday, the 22nd. I
23rd,
think. Was
no,
that
22nd? I think you're right.
Yeah, Thursday the 22nd. Head on over to those accounts and you can try to enter the giveaway to win 3 Gamecasters Essentials games. Both of those accounts, like I said, have the giveaway going.
Yeah.
We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can also email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. We have that Baron Board Game Geek Guild 3678. If you like the show, we would love it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen that allows you to rate us. We also have a Patreon. If you want to support the show, feel free to head on over to patreon.com/thegamecasters. There's also a merch store where you can find all sorts of different Gamecasters, Mad Board Gamer, Gateway gear. So head on over to thegatewaynetwork.com/merch. So, for Natalie, Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I am Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.